Hello, YouTube. Welcome to Geekery Abides. I've got to get used to saying the right thing there.
Don't say our other show.
Yeah, I've been saying something else for so many years now. It's going to be hard to break that habit. We're here for episode 2 of Geekery Abides. Last 2 weeks ago, we had our first episode, and now we are here for episode 2. And on this episode, we're going to be talking about reactions, responses, everything to Ant-Man, as well as for the main topic, as well as discussing future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe in light of what we saw a week ago now, basically, for Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, which is a fun title. My name is Tad, and with me, as always, is Peter. And yeah, we are excited to kind of get in the routine of what this show looks like.
Yeah.
But first thing we'll want to do is hit up the intro stuff. So first of all, I'll throw up our email addresses. We both have individual email addresses. If you followed us over from Dark Tower Palaver, this is a whole new thing. But you have the ability to email either of us directly because both of us basically will be piloting shows. Even though I'm doing the intro and stuff here, this is actually one that Peter is piloting, but I will generally do the intros. But if you want to email either of us directly, you can do that at our names. So Peter or Tad, and Tad is Tadd. If you are listening, if you're on YouTube, you should be able to see it on the screen. But my name is often misspelled, so make sure you spell it Tadd. Both of those, either of those names at geekeryabides.com will get you our email directly to us. Go ahead and shoot either of us an email if you have input, thoughts, reactions, show ideas. There's all kinds of fun stuff that you can do. But yeah, that is where you
Dad
can get
jokes.
That's no, none of that now. That is not allowed. That is horrible, horrible stuff. You know it to be true, sir.
No, they're great.
No, they're the
You just
worst.
need to accept that they're funny.
No, sir, they're not. But yeah, that is the and then also you can find us on social media. You can find us at Geekery Abides on basically everywhere: Facebook, Twitter. The only one that and this has actually been perplexing me. I meant to bring it up to you before.
Yeah.
It will not let me register Instagram.
No?
It acts like it already exists, but it doesn't when you search it. So I don't know if somebody at one point registered it and then deleted their account, because I do think that in some cases that blocks it from ever being used. So we're going to have to create some kind of Instagram that works around the fact that
GA_Geekery
I don't know.
Something.
But yeah, we're not on Instagram yet, but we are basically everywhere else social media wise. Don't have a website yet, but go ahead and find us here also on YouTube. Search Geekery Abides. We do need everyone to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications. Specifically subscriptions. It's a little bit nebulous whether it's true, but with Dark Tower Palaver, we had to wait until we had, I think it was around 100 subscriptions before we could register our custom URL.
Yeah.
But there's been some stuff I've been reading that maybe YouTube doesn't even do that anymore, but I'm getting very mixed messages whether they do or not. So we need to wait until we hit 100 to see if we can actually register like youtube.com/geekeryabides. But there's been some stuff I've been reading that maybe they don't even allow that anymore. So
interesting.
Either way, you can find us here on YouTube. The best way to do it is find us, search us out if you have to. We do pull up now if you just search Geekery Abides. And then, like I said, subscribe, and then you don't have to worry about ever having to search for us again.
Yeah, but ring that bell. You get notifications for when we're going live or if we drop a new video.
Yes, indeed. Hello, Carol. Looks like, again, working and listening. That's totally fine.
Yeah.
Always good to have you with us here, even if it's just in the background in spirit. We know you're here with us.
Yeah.
And she did throw out an emoji in the last show, so I do appreciate that.
Disgusting.
And yes, that is something else to know, as Peter now has access to sound bites. So
I've never had so much power.
and maybe that was by design. But yeah, that is it for the intro stuff. Sorry, I'll get a little bit better with the intro stuff as we go. Still
It's
working.
only our second episode.
Yeah, still working all this stuff
Yeah.
out. So, but yes, very dangerous to have Peter with such powers, as Lydia is saying here in the chat. Peter has a soundboard. That's a scary thing.
I love it.
So, diving on in.
So, what have you been up to? What have you been reading? What have you been playing? What have you been doing? I know you're excited. You got a brand new monitor. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I got a 49-inch ultra-wide monitor.
Okay, so do me a favor. I don't know if it'll fit in your camera, but hold up your camera.
Oh, no, it won't. Especially on this show, our cameras are a little bit more narrow.
Oh,
so.
are they?
No, it will not work. But.
It's ridiculously huge how big this monitor is. I was looking at it right before we went live, just like the stuff that he has on there, where he has like his YouTube thing on one side, his notes and everything for our discussion later about Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania and Phase 5 and everything. And then he on his right side, what did you have on the right side?
Got like the slideshow and then the
all the different
OBS.
stuff. Yeah, so all that stuff is on one monitor. His monitor is huge.
Yes.
And it's curved too, so it like curves in and everything.
Yes.
But it is pretty. I will say it's very
feels very
pretty.
Star Trek to me.
And it's expensive looking.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that.
We're not going to talk about it?
Not talking about that. So, watching, reading, playing. So, for me, watching, of course, The Last of Us, one of my favorite things on TV. Actually, a lot of stuff is some of my favorite. I love The Last of Us. I'm definitely watching that, digging the hell out of that show. Poker Face, also watching. Love the fuck out of that show, too. I think that'd be my... and then, of course, I'm still watching 1923, but also Picard Season 3 started. And I have been just basking in 2 episodes of that, man. It's great.
It's the last season of that too, isn't
last
it?
season, and it's happening slowly, but it does appear that the entire Next Generation crew is going to be involved in this.
Appearing.
So, yes, very excited about that. It's probably what they should have done from the beginning of the show rather than waste 2 seasons with other stuff. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't. They should have just done the whole crew for 3 seasons.
Just make it a reunion of the Next Generation cast
for
and
3
everything.
seasons. Everyone would love it. It's the legacy sequel era. Why not? So that's kind of what I've been watching. Reading-wise, I've been reading the Frank Miller Daredevil run on Marvel Unlimited. So that's been a lot of fun.
Frank Miller, obviously famous for the re-envisioning of Batman in the 80s to the dark and gritty Dark Knight Returns and what is more commonly referred to as Batman nowadays.
Yeah.
He did a Daredevil run.
Yeah.
Which is very fitting to your shirt there, sir.
Yeah,
So.
indeed.
Yes.
I do need to buy me more nerdy shirts, man. Over the years, some just wore out. I just didn't replace them, and now I'm like a little bit light on geeky shirts. I've been looking at TeePublic and stuff. I got to find me some good stuff to buy.
There's some really good ones out there now.
There is. So yes, I'm reading that. So Frank Miller, before he went over and reinvented Batman in a fairly permanent fashion, he did a whole pretty good run on Daredevil. Brought Daredevil from being one of the lesser Marvel comics to one of the top sellers and stuff. So I'm reading it. It's pretty good so far. It's just kind of midway through, and then suddenly it just writer changes and it's Frank Miller in charge, and I'm just waiting to see kind of as it evolves and stylistically as it changes and stuff.
Did you say last time this was the right before Frank Miller took over? That's when Daredevil was getting like relegated down to
bi-monthly
instead of every month having a comic. It's every 2 months and everything like that.
Yeah.
So, and then Miller brought him back to being like a top dog.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So I
reading that.
I love Daredevil. So just decided to take a dive into that. Feel like it'd be a good prep for Daredevil show coming out later on. So that'll be fun. But yeah, that's and then playing wise, I haven't been playing as much games. But probably the most recent thing I've been playing, I actually am in the middle of like 3 or 4 games.
We were talking about this just the other day at work. You started Batman Arkham City. You were talking to me about that a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I'm still like...
You have a Red Dead Redemption 2 run that you're in the middle of.
100%.
Spider-Man.
I'm at the very end of Spider-Man.
Yep.
I'm like 90-something% of the way through that, so I can just polish that one out. Then the Last of Us...
you don't play the DLC on that. You don't like the DLC.
I did once, but I probably wouldn't again. No.
You weren't a big fan of that.
No, and then The Last of Us as well.
Last of Us.
So yeah, I've got a lot of
remastered Last of Us on the PlayStation 5, right?
Yeah, so I've got a lot of games I'm juggling. Oh, and then GoldenEye as well.
Oh, and then GoldenEye came out on the Xbox. So
yeah, so there's a lot of games I've
got a lot of things in the fire. What's that phrase?
A lot of pokers in the fire.
A lot of pokers in the fire.
Yes.
Turning slowly and ignoring and letting them melt and stuff.
Yes, indeed. Exactly. And then not to mention new monitors.
We were just talking before we went on the air that certain games are designed for that.
For ultra-wide, yeah.
Red Dead's one of them. Maybe you should just cancel that Red Dead one and just start a new one.
No, I'm not doing the Legends of the East ever
dude.
again.
Yeah, absolutely.
No.
You should every time.
No.
Every time.
No way.
It's not that hard.
Oh, it's a pain in the ass, sir.
Oh, it's a pain in the ass, but it's not that hard, sir.
So what about you? What are you watching, reading, playing?
Watching Last of Us. I have fallen behind quite a bit on Yellowstone.
Well, I haven't had a new episode in months.
No, I have fallen behind on Yellowstone. I haven't watched anything since before Christmas.
So you have like one episode or something.
Oh,
probably.
is it only one episode?
Dude,
really?
there's not much. Yeah, you could probably catch up real quick.
I need to watch 1923 and I need to watch 1883 first.
Yeah,
I know that.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be my next big watch thing. Reading, I'm still reading the Pacific books that you turned me on to. I don't know what's the trilogy called of that, because they each have their own individual name.
Yeah, it's the author's Pacific trilogy. Probably is what people would refer to it as.
And
most likely,
it's broken up the World War II Pacific War in between 1941, 1942, and then part of 1942 and 1943, and then 44 and 45.
Yeah.
For the Pacific War. I'm in book 2, but I'm starting to think that at the end of book 2, I'm going to take a break, and I think it's time to dude, I'm resisting dairy so hard. I'm resisting going back to dairy so bad right now. I want to go back to it so bad.
Yeah.
Like we know this from our other show. It's my favorite Stephen King book outside of the Dark Tower.
Got to get
series.
ready for that escape room in Vegas, sir.
That's true. I do. I gotta prep myself to go into the dairy
into the sewers
and everything like that. Like
That's fun for the whole family, isn't it?
right. Yeah, it's a family outing. Yeah, I mean, you take your family to a haunted house, right? So I mean, my wife does like escape rooms. She's gone to several.
There we go. So the It escape room.
Yeah.
She also, thank you. She gave me props on the subtle geekery of my shirt. It's not as overt. It's not just like
you have converted me to that way. I love it.
Yeah,
so
that's always
much.
been my style. I've always loved more subtle.
I have a Wayne Industries hat and T-shirt. I wore the Wayne Industries one last week, but yeah, so much more of a fan of that.
Did you? I thought you had a Batman, just a normal Batman. Wow.
No, it was my Wayne Industries one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Batman one was dirty still.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, but yeah. So that's what I've been up to. Red Dead 2 is my game of choice right now, and then a little bit of Phasmophobia here and there. Investigating ghosties.
Yeah.
And seeing.
Doesn't seem like your wife agrees with the It escape room.
Oh no, she does absolutely. She says absolutely. I see it. I know exactly what I know what she's saying. She wants to do it. I mean, after all, it is. Yeah. So, but yeah. So with that, let's move on. And so we got some news. I understand.
Yeah, I mean, and like ultimately, I think we'll generally always have some news to cover, but yeah, I've got a couple news stories to talk about.
Some little nuggets.
So the first one, Warner Brothers, through their subsidiary New Line specifically, is going to be making more Lord of the Rings movies.
I saw your post about that.
So that is strange a bit. So no indication of what that might cover or adapt. Apparently Peter Jackson and Fran Walsh have been kept in the loop, whatever that means.
Because Peter Jackson did the Hobbit movies and the original Lord
and
of the
Fran
Rings.
Walsh did. Yeah.
Oh, he did
Peter
too?
Jackson,
Okay.
Fran Walsh. She was as involved as Peter
she did?
Jackson.
Okay.
Yeah.
I knew Peter Jackson's name. I didn't know Fran's name.
Yeah. I think those two are two peas in a pod for the whole thing. So the TV rights do still belong to Amazon. And then I have a quote here from Lee Goinchard, the CEO of Free Mode, which I think that's the company that actually owns the rights to the Lord of the Rings movies that is then doing business with New Line and Warner Brothers. It says, following our recent acquisition of Middle-earth Enterprises, we're thrilled to embark on a new collaborative journey with New Line Cinema and Warner Brothers Pictures, bringing the incomparable world of J.R.R. Tolkien back to the big screen in new and exciting ways. We understand how cherished these works are, and working together with our partners at New Line Cinemas and Warner Brothers Pictures, we plan to honor the past, look to the future, and adhere to the strong level of quality and production values. So... yeah, I don't know what that means. I mean, I know I wonder like if they're allowed to do like all the appendices stuff, because that's what Amazon bought. So
Yeah.
I don't know if like are they only
Well,
the
they're talking.
trilogies?
They also said big screen. So I
And,
mean,
yeah, movies.
So does Amazon have just exclusive rights if they make television?
Yeah, I
Or-
don't know. I don't know what the hell it is, but definitely
Oh,
not.
this is interesting.
Definitely not what I expected. And I can imagine there's a lot of people a little bit younger than us that was their big thing growing up.
Yeah.
I wonder how they feel about it because
Yeah.
like
We've all had that where it's like, oh, they're really remaking RoboCop,
and I don't know if they're
something
and
like
I don't
that.
know if this is a remake.
We don't know,
but
but
yeah.
but the fact that they're contacting Fran and Peter Jackson is just like
I think they have to do that. That's just fan service almost to like
the people who
keep
made
them
everything.
keep them informed because everyone you're not going to talk about Lord of the Rings movies without Peter Jackson and Fran Walsh coming to people's minds. So I think that's more just fan service of like keeping them involved. I don't think that they'll be involved creatively in my mind. I doubt it. They may have like executive producer roles, which is in movies is largely meaningless. I mean, I don't know. In television, executive producer is usually a little bit more of an actual role that means something. But I highly doubt that they'll have any skin in the game. I mean, they spent a decade working on the last or more, 2 trilogies technically, right? As much as I'd like to pretend the other one doesn't exist,
The Hobbit trilogy.
Yeah. Did you watch them all?
I did.
I didn't. I watched the first one. I'm like, I'm done. I washed my hands of that.
I had no desire to go back and rewatch them, and I never have. So
Yeah.
there's that.
Yeah, I was just
Telling you-
curious. I don't think I've ever talked to you about it before. I didn't
yeah.
know if you had ever gone through.
Yeah, I watched all 3 of them.
Yeah. Any so just no. I've had some people tell me it's worth at least watching the other 2, but I don't know.
It's not terrible. They have, of course, the CGI and the action sequences are just top notch. They're out of this world good looking and everything like that. There's a couple scenes that are just like, really? All right.
Yeah.
The story's okay, you know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think that it would necessarily be a bad thing to watch them.
Yeah.
You might feel a little like, really, 3 hours? 2 hours, 2.5 hours?
Yeah.
They're a little bit long. I mean, they're Peter Jackson films after all.
Yeah, no shit.
So we experienced that with Return of the King in high school.
Yeah.
Still, one of the funniest stories I have with Tad is that we went and saw Return of the King for like the 2nd or 3rd time. And if you haven't seen Return of the King, there's a final battle, there's a rescue, and everything like that. But there's so many false endings. I showed my wife; she can vouch for this. I showed it to her on YouTube.
Yeah, we went to the coronation.
Yeah, we went to the coronation. We went to like the 11 o'clock show the day after it released. We didn't go to the midnight show because it was a school night and we were in high school. But it was like the 2nd or 3rd time we were seeing it, like a couple weeks.
No, we did a midnight showing.
Did we?
That's
No?
why we left school to go stand in
to
line.
go sit in line for the midnight
Yeah,
showing.
we went
That's
to the
right.
mi-
You're right.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. But it was like the 2nd or 3rd time seeing it. We got up when
After the crowning.
after the crowning at Gondor.
Yeah.
They crown Aragorn, and he says, you bow to no one, to the hobbits and everything. He starts to sing, and we get up to leave, and we're in the middle of an aisle, and it's packed, just packed, and we go walking out, and there's a guy at the end of the aisle, and he goes, "The movie's not over," in like a kind of a little bit loud whisper, so we'd hear him, and Ted goes, "It should be."
No
No
delay.
hesitation.
No hesitation.
No
delay.
hesitation.
Like, it should
He's
be.
just like, it should be. And the worst part is that from that crowning, there's like 3 more false endings after that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, and when I say false endings, I'm talking like it fades to black.
yeah.
Like it goes to a black screen. Like you expect the house lights to come up and the titles start to roll.
Yeah.
I showed my wife and she's just like, "Okay, now it's over." Well, come on, no. Now it's over. Another one? It was like there's like 7 of them. It's ridiculous. It's the thing that we constantly poke fun of at the Lord of the Rings trilogy. It's like,
Yeah.
I hope it doesn't have false endings like Return of the King.
Yeah. So I'll be intrigued to keep an eye on that and see what all that has
Yeah.
for us in the future. So
We both read Lord of the Rings in high school and
I
everything.
thought about rereading them very recently. I actually
Oh,
bought I
yeah.
ended up buying the Hannibal Lecter trilogy, and I almost was bought the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Yeah, you were to
I
a
was-
point on we both do Audible because it works really well with our work that we are able to listen to audiobooks. You were to a point where you had to use some credits.
Oh yeah, I
right?
had like 5, and they were like, hey, "You're about to get it to where you don't get a monthly credit because you're
use it or lose it.
maxed out." So, all right, I'm sick I'd been doing that for a couple months. Where I just like cool, go buy something so I can get my credit and shit. And then I was just like, you know what? I'm tired of this. Like every month, I'm like, I'm just gonna find like a chunk of books. I'm like, all right, Lord of the Rings. And as I was getting ready, I'm like, do I really? That's such a huge commitment. And I'm like, you know what? No, I haven't read the Hannibal books in a long time. I loved those in high school and shit. So I bought those. Frank Muller does Silence of the Lambs. So that was a big draw.
He's a great narrator.
Yeah, so I got that, and then I just bought a King book as well. So I'm like down to I think only 1 credit right now, which is the lowest I've been in years.
Yeah,
a long time.
You still do the month to month with Audible though, right?
Yeah.
I signed up for the yearly one. It was like it's $50 off, and then you get 12 credits up front. So I'm sitting on 8 credits, dude.
Yeah, I don't know what I'd do.
But I have actually I think I'm down to 7 because I pre-ordered the new Stephen King book that comes out in September. So.
Yeah.
So I think that I think that's going to be the way to do it. One, I save some money doing it yearly instead of month to month. But I have to remember I got to stretch that out.
Yeah.
But I have so many books. I mean, we talked about it last time. I got 70-something books in my library. I got the 7 Harry Potters. I haven't read those for a while. My wife just finished rereading them. I need to reread them at some point.
Yeah.
I got to go back
I have the first one.
Huh?
I have the first Harry Potter book.
I think I gave it to you.
Yeah.
Like the Audible allowed you at one point to gift a book to someone.
Yeah.
I think it glitched somehow because I gifted you Harry Potter, and then my friend Jared, I gifted him The Stand.
No, I think it was a thing where you can gift one to a person.
Oh, it's individual person.
Yeah.
I thought it was just one book in general.
No.
Oh, okay.
So next news bit. So we're 4 days away from the kickoff of The Mandalorian Season 3.
Wednesday, right?
It is Wednesday, the 1st of March. So an interesting little nugget came up.
Okay.
Jon Favreau said in an interview that he already has Season 4 written.
Really?
Yes.
There was like some questions on it if we were going to get more Mandalorian after Season 2 ended and everything. So
exactly. So Season 3 we have. Season 4 is already written. But what's more, I have a quote from Mr. Favreau.
Okay.
They asked him. They said, "Hey, do you have an ending in mind for Jin and Grogu?" Baby Yoda, of course, is his real name. And John responded, and he says, "No, I don't. I think the beauty of this is that it's a middle chapter of a very large story, and though we'll have resolution over time with these characters, I think that how these characters fit into the larger scope and scale, but it's not like there's a finale that we're building to that I have in mind. Quite the contrary. I love for these stories to go on, and these characters potentially could be with us for a while. And I really love telling stories in their voices. I love the way the adventures unfold, and I'm looking forward to doing much more."
Ooh,
so
yes.
Sounds like even Season 4 doesn't sound like it's winding down, is all I'm saying.
Oh, good.
Sounds like
kind of got the feel of that.
Yeah,
one,
it
right?
did. Yeah, it did. There was part of me that kind of wondered, but no, it sounds like Mr. Favreau is very, very happy doing Mandalorian. So
Lydia says in the chat, "Yes, I can't wait." Grogu.
yeah, Baby Yoda, can't wait to see him. I know there's going to be some people confused if they didn't watch Book of Boba Fett as to why Grogu's back.
Right.
But also, okay, my biggest beef with his new ship.
Yeah.
Is he just giving up being a bounty hunter? Because he would have no spot for a bounty.
Yeah.
So is he just giving up entirely that I'm not a bounty hunter anymore? Because that was my biggest gripe with that
it's
ship.
in the trailer, isn't it? That he wants to go back and reestablish Mandalore.
Yeah, but this is before all that. This is literally when the ship was, put together and all that.
I think he was taking what he could get.
I was just like, are you not going to be a freaking bounty hunter, man?
Is he just taking what he can get, though? I mean, it's not like he has a ton of money to be like, yeah, I'm going to go get me a new ship.
He could sell that armor.
Let's be honest, the Razor Crest was falling apart as it was.
Yeah,
so
he could sell that armor and go buy a shitty little YT 3000.
Hey. You slander the Millennium Falcon, we're going to have an issue, sir.
You're going to throw hands?
It's the greatest ship in the galaxy.
Oh, next to the TIE
Kessel
Fighter.
12 parsec. TIE Fighters are so dumb.
Yeah, I just caught you off guard there for a second.
You did. I had to think for a second. YT 3000. Well, I was like, wait.
No, when I said TIE Fighter, I feel like
yeah.
you just glitched for a second, where you're just trying to compute what I just said.
It's so TIE Fighters are dumb.
So next up, Avatar: Way of the Water has overtaken Titanic for the 3rd highest grossing film of all time.
It is coming.
So that means that of the top 4 highest grossing films of all time, 3 of them are James Cameron movies.
Titanic, Avatar, and Avatar: Way of the Water.
3 out of 4,
Shit,
dude.
I still need to see that movie.
3 out of 4, dude. That's
Good
insane, man. Never
We're
doubt.
talking billions of dollars here with James
never
Cameron.
doubt the man. That's all I'm saying.
Good Lord.
And then the last little bit I've got, Netflix has announced they are going to be putting out a Glass Onion with a commentary track with Ryan Johnson.
Oh, I bet you're all about that.
I'm very, very excited for that. I do still hope that we get some kind of release for it. I know I've got like the Irishman and stuff on a Blu-ray. I would love to get that as well because I loved Glass Onion.
Knives Out came out. Yeah, it did. Yeah,
because that was a traditional movie.
That's
Netflix
right.
is the first. Netflix bought Glass Onion and all the sequel rights stuff. So, but that's it for news. Couple things
Excellent.
there. Of course, next episode we may have to hit some maybe some Mandalorian thoughts because we'll have an
Yeah.
episode.
Or two.
2 episodes.
Wednesday, and then we'll record that following Saturday.
Yeah, so 2 episodes.
Oh, we should talk about that real fast since we're talking
Oh.
about news.
yeah, duh.
Yeah.
I should have done that with the intro.
Yes. March 25th would be our
3rd episode
third episode. No,
or 4th.
fourth episode.
4th episode.
It would be our second episode in March because we record these bi-weekly every fortnight.
Yes,
Just for
indeed.
Tad, he loves that word, fortnight.
I don't know anything about the game, but I don't even know what the game is. But I love the term Fortnite.
It's a battle royale. It's not good.
What does that mean? Like
Battle
shooters?
royales where everyone drops in, and then last person standing wins, or team. If you do a team battle royale,
Okay, I've heard that phrase. I'm not.
It is like the popular thing for multiplayer games now.
certainly. But
Call of Duty has it.
Yeah.
Fortnite, PUBG was like one of the original ones that I remember people playing.
Okay.
You
But yeah,
drop in from like a plane, but yeah.
definitely not that. Fortnite for me, I just love
Fortnite
the,
means
the
every
word.
2 weeks.
Yes.
And Tad's just a fan of old timey words like that,
Yeah.
bringing it back.
Yes.
So our March 11th episode will be on its normal, same bat channel, same bat
same bat time, same bat
same
channel.
bat time, same bat channel. Thank you. And the 25th episode is actually going to get moved up a week. It's going to be on the 18th of March. Tad here is going to be out of the country.
Yes.
So I'm in danger. Now, you might ask yourself a question. Peter, why would you say you're in danger? Tad's going to be gone, and if he's your tormentor, he'll be away. See, that's exactly what he wants you to think. Lull yourself into a false sense of security, then bam!
Perfect alibi.
See?
I'm out of the country,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. See? I don't trust this man. I'm on to him. I know all of his tricks after 20-plus years.
Yeah. So next month we'll have an episode on the 11th and then the 18th. So there'll be back-to-back episodes. So be ready for that on the schedule. Yeah. Good call. I completely spaced that.
Absolutely.
So yeah, and then that wraps up the news.
Are we going to tease what's on that episode, or do we do that at the end of the episode?
At the end, yeah.
At the end?
Got that at the end, yeah.
Save it for the end? Okay. So, that takes us to our main topic.
Oh, I
which is
guess
kind of
I
like
guess
a-
I've fallen behind on the slides. Sorry about that.
Shame. Oh, yeah, that's right. We have slides. Forgot about that. Well, it's kind of a two-parter topic. The first one, obviously, is that a week ago, Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania came out. And we went and saw it.
Yes, indeed.
And we have to talk about one of the first things with it. This is one of the worst reviewed Marvel movies of all time.
Yeah, it was matching Eternals last time I saw, but
I just pulled it up on Rotten Tomatoes right now. It currently has a tomato meter of 48%, but an audience score of 84%.
Exactly, man. Screw the critics. I don't care about critic stuff, man. Especially Rotten Tomatoes. Like, you may look at it. I don't even look at Rotten Tomatoes, dude. I can't. Like, I just, garbage shit, man. I'm not a fan.
I haven't looked at critics for nigh on a decade now. It doesn't do it for me, caring what other people think. But like, I just pulled up here on Rotten Tomatoes, and one of the very first ones that has like the splat, not the tomato means fresh.
Yeah,
And the splat means a bad rating, right?
yeah.
One of them, it's a top critic. I'm not going to say the name because I don't want to like dox anyone. The thrill is gone. The Marvel universe shoots a blank, a tiny one. Like,
Yeah, no. So, and the thing is with Rotten Tomatoes too is that they don't even aggregate the scores.
No.
They just total it out and then run it that way. That's why I don't think it's even a legitimate thing. Like I look at like Metacritic or IMDb, things that like basically the fan vote of Rotten Tomatoes. I pay more attention to that
84%.
stuff because that to me is more reflective of reality. Like if they were to actually aggregate the critic scores and do the actual math on it, I would be a little bit more into like the normal Rotten Tomatoes score. But I just don't. I don't like it. I don't know. Love what you love, man, and like whatever. And I just think that now the MCU's in a spot where everyone. It is so popular that I think now there's just a lot of people, their only thought is to tear it down. So,
and that's one of the things I wanted to talk about is that the Marvel Cinematic Universe has been going now since 2008, right? Is when Iron Man came out. 2008.
Yes, 2008. Sorry.
So 2008 is when Iron Man came out.
Also, just as a pause, Carol asked if we were doing spoilers. I don't think we're going to do spoilers right away. We'll probably. I guess we haven't talked about that either. Spoiler wise, we're kind of debating on how to handle that for this show because next week we're going to get it as well, even more so because the movie that we're going to be discussing next week actually will have been out a day when we do the episode. So we're kind of the mind that like we'll do spoilers, but I think with how we break down the structure, we'll talk up front about non-spoiler stuff and then we'll hit a spot and just. Not that we're going to like have a majority not spoiler, but we'll tell you before we get into spoilers, Carol, if you haven't seen it yet. So, but yeah, sorry to interrupt, but I just wanted to.
Absolutely, it's a good call. I completely forgot that we needed to talk about that because it is a new movie and some people haven't had a chance to see it yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, so just in general and everything like that. Iron Man came out in 2008. We're coming up on the 20-year mark here in 5 years, so it's been 15 years for the MCU this summer.
I've tormented both you and your wife like with Endgame when I was like seeing some of these like 12-year-olds like just think that kid wasn't born when Iron Man came out and you both just like did the Yoda.
It hurt us. It cut us deep. But yeah, so I think you're right. I think the large part of it is that it's become so popular now. It's the cool thing to poop on it, to crap on it, to make it to tear it down. You see critics do this all the time. Go look at any popular movie. Some of the highest rated movies of all time. Shawshank Redemption, The Dark Knight, Godfather. There's movies like that. You'll always find someone that'll be like, this is the worst film I've ever seen in my entire life. And I watched, Land Before Time 17. And it's like, really? Like, The Dark Knight's that bad? Like, but it's just something that critics do because it gets them clicks.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's kind of what their whole thing is that's what they need is they need people to pay attention to their opinion. Otherwise, they are out of a job.
Yeah.
If no one's paying attention to your opinion and you're a movie critic, what are you doing? Like,
and it ultimately, like, we're coming out of a pandemic, and what I hate, like, snobbery in general, but especially movie snobbery. I'm a movie guy, but movie snobbery pisses me off because, like, right now, I can't remember what it was. Like, at one point they were talking Tenet. At one point they were talking Top Gun. There's all these times where they keep talking about all these, like, specific movies. They're like, oh, it's saving the movie theaters. Yeah. And to me, I'm just like, you know what? Fuck off. Like, you know what's been saving movie theaters? Horror movies and comic book movies. Those are the only things that are drawing consistent audiences and have been. And, like, legitimately,
since the pandemic,
since the pandemic, like we're in a spot where theaters only exist right now and didn't go fucking under, and some of them are still in some precarious circumstances financially, but the only reason they didn't is because horror movies and comic book movies have been propping up the entire industry. And so, like,
and those are the two genres of
they
film
get shit on right now.
They get shit on constantly.
Yeah,
we have directors coming out and saying Marvel movies aren't real movies.
Yeah.
And other people are just like, no, I would never do a comic book movie. Actors and stuff like that. Oh, I'd never do a comic book movie. I'm a serious actor. And it's like, really? Like, really?
Yeah. I loved Harrison Ford when they asked, like, why he signed on for the MCU, and he's just like, man, I see a lot of people, working in this this franchise that are having a hell of a lot of fun, so I figured why not sign up and do it. So I'm just like, yeah, see,
that's
I like
the thing.
Yeah, I like that kind of stuff more.
Yeah, that's the thing is, like, it's definitely dude, it looks like such a cool place to work. Like if you're on one of those movies and stuff, like I see the behind scenes stuff and just how much fun they seem to be having.
Yeah.
I don't hear about any of the stuff like, for example, the one that comes to mind when you say like a horrible time shooting The Exorcist.
Yeah.
Like people got physically disabled because of the director's choices and stuff like that. Again, that was however long ago. I wanted to. Dude,
50 years this year.
I almost said 30 years ago. Oh my god, that hurts.
50 years this year is the 50-year anniversary of The Exorcist.
Is it really?
Uh-huh.
Oh my god.
Later this year, it came out close to Christmas.
And we got a sequel for that coming out this year.
We do. I can't wait.
It's gonna be so much fun.
I'm very excited.
But yeah, you
know what I need to figure out is figure out a way to flash Captain Howdy's face on the screen.
Oh, really?
Like in The Exorcist. That's what I need to find out how to do with all this technology. Just find a way to flash, like briefly, like a fraction of a second, just have it flash on there. Especially if Hayden's in here joining us.
Is it bad that I know how to do that? Should I show him?
Well, yes, you should.
I don't know if I should. It'd be kind of bad.
You should, sir.
Nah.
No power you can give me could be a bad thing for you, sir. So Carol, the Exorcist, it is a kind of a legacy sequel.
Mm-hmm.
From what I understand, a younger, whatever, not someone that was around in 1973, but a father has a child that is possessed and reaches out to Reagan's mother. I
gotta figure out the mom's name
to basically ask for her help, and they have actually got the original actress that played Reagan's mom to reprise her role, and this is the first time that she has played this role since 1973 with the original movie. She was never involved in any of the sequels. Linda Blair did do a couple of the sequels, but the mom did not. I don't know why. Are you looking it up?
I am. I'm pulling it up right now.
Just the character name, the actor name as well, but the character name is one we're talking
Chris.
about. Yeah, that's right. Chris. Yeah. Chris Reagan or Chris. No, do we even know their Yeah, that's right. We don't hear their last names very much.
Reagan and then Chris McNeil.
Yeah, Chris McNeil. So it's her. So it's kind of going to be pulling her in to a more modern possession, so it should be fun. I'm kind of wondering, they haven't announced anything, but I kind of have a suspicion that Linda Blair might be involved.
Maybe.
I think that'd be interesting if she popped up as a cameo at the end or something.
Yeah, that's basically what we know about it so far is that.
Oh, and it is the people that were behind the latest Halloween trilogy.
Right, that was the other thing. Yeah, the legacy Halloween movies too.
It's Blumhouse, and it is the same writers and directors that were behind the last Halloween. Which you can't listen to me. I'm a Halloween super nut, and I love all of them except for one. But I adored those movies. Like they were
Resurrection.
Oh no, I love Resurrection. It's a good
one. You don't love
Rob Zombie's second one.
Oh, that's right.
Not a fan of that one.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, we've tangented our way quite a way. So
that's what we do. If you haven't caught on yet, that's what we do.
Yeah, and Carol says good chance it's going to be really good, and that's where I'm coming from. They have a proven method now, and I just think that it'd be really awesome to see what they can do with The Exorcist.
Yeah. So we talked about the critics and everything like that with Ant-Man and everything. But what did you think? Without going too far into spoilers, we're still going to save that for later. What did you think of the film?
So I really enjoyed it. I do think what maybe some people maybe are missing, in my mind, I'm not going to say they're wrong. If they didn't like it, they didn't like it. But I really feel that it was kind of a tribute to like old school B-rate sci-fi movies a little bit. And I think some people, with some of the allusions that it was doing to those type movies, people interpreted it as just poor filmmaking. Not necessarily there was like bad effects or anything, but like there was just there's some dialogue and stuff, or I see some people like whatever, and I'm just like, dude, you guys realize like what this movie is? They're trying to like tribute kind of some of those older
Buck Rogers.
Yeah, some of those older, cheekier sci-fi things, not like prestige sci-fi, which isn't a real thing, but may as well be, right? There came a whole point when sci-fi like became a little bit less looked down on, and I just feel like they were kind of playing towards that quite a bit. But I enjoyed it. I mean, I do think that I would have loved to have seen maybe a little bit more from some of the iconic actors like Michelle Pfeiffer and I just blanked on his name.
Michael Douglas.
Michael Douglas. Like I feel like they were largely wasted.
Side characters
for the most part, yeah. But I get it. There's a lot going on, but I mean, God, you got some great actors there. I would have loved to. I guess Michelle Pfeiffer had a little bit more than she has up to this point in the series, but I just feel like
her biggest role in the MCU so far.
Yeah,
which is saying something because Ant-Man, little guy.
Yeah, and I made a joke, and you thought I was making a dad joke at the theaters.
You did.
I said something about a short movie here, and
Yeah.
you thought I was making a dad joke, but legitimately, this was only a 2-hour movie as
Yeah.
well. I do appreciate that because right now I'm getting really tired of every movie being 2.5, 3 hours long.
They don't have to be.
I just don't get it, man. Everything right now. John Wick is making almost a 3-hour movie.
Yeah, you're saying that you're not going to see that because of it.
I don't see how I could. I just don't see how it could be good. Like it's a
3-hour action
a
film.
3-hour action movie. Good God, man.
like Endgame's an action movie, but I mean it's also a lot of humor and
It's a culmination
story,
of
and it's
15
a
years of
conclusion.
story.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I am not completely closed down on John Wick 4, but
Okay.
3 hours, dude. I don't know.
It's a long action. Can you think of a long action movie?
Like that, I don't know, man. That's more like drama realm for 3
Yeah.
hours. So I don't know.
Like, I mean, unless they go that route, but then it's not John Wick, is it?
Yeah, I don't know.
So,
There's never been a single John Wick movie where I'm like, God, I wish that was an hour and a half longer,
God, I
or
wish
an
I
hour
had
longer.
another half hour on this.
No, it's not. I feel like they've done a really good job at just making a hour 40-minute or 2-hour movie and just great
There we
fun.
go.
It was mindless action, like mindless fun, but it was fun. I enjoyed it. 3 hours though,
It's also supposed to be like, I mean, it is supposed to be the conclusion. So, like you were just talking about with Endgame, maybe that's part of it, is that it's supposed to be the conclusion of the John Wick story.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know.
We'll see.
Make 2-hour movies again. That's all I'm saying. Let's keep them at 2-hour marks.
Two and a half tops.
Yeah,
Tops.
2.5 if you earn it.
If you earn it, right?
3 hours, like let's not lose our cool on that.
Let's hold the phone on that one a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. What did you think?
I loved Ant-Man. It's everything that I love about the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I had fun. That's why we go to every Marvel show, and I think we talked about this last episode because we knew this one was coming up. We go to every Marvel movie the day that it releases. So
Yeah.
they don't do midnight showings anymore. They do them Thursday night. We hit it between 6 and 7. We go with the crowds and everything like that. And I did notice one thing about Ant-Man. That theater was freaking empty.
I mean,
Compared to Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, that theater was empty. It was, dude, it was 60-70% full at max.
yeah, it's
So,
yeah.
that being said, I enjoyed it. I had fun. I didn't come away going, God, that plot line or that character really was just wrong. I had none of those thoughts going through it. There's little things here and there, and I'm like, oh, they should have done that, or I would have done this, But I do that with every movie. I mean, you can watch my favorite movie of all time, and I'll still have stuff like,
critiques,
missed
Yeah.
opportunity, kind of thing. But the fact that I had fun
Yeah,
is exactly what I go for in a Marvel Cinematic Universe movie. I'm not going to be wowed or to be blown off my feet, with like the visual effects, which still were really good, especially with this being in Quantumania.
yeah,
If you haven't seen the movie, it's not exactly a spoiler. Majority of the movie takes place in the quantum realm.
yeah.
It's in the trailer, right? But the creatures, the people, and everything like that were down there.
I guess I could also I did have a slide.
Oh, did you?
Oh, and you know what? I forgot. I know we're in the middle of the conversation
Yeah.
now, but I had a slide. And I also had an intro, little soundbite for it.
Did you?
Ants. Ants. Ant-Man.
The greatest teaser in the history of movies. Let's be honest. You remember that one with Michael Douglas and
Yeah.
Paul Rudd just slapping their
Yeah.
yeah. I forgot I grabbed that soundbite because I had to. So yeah,
That's great.
That and then I got the poster. So
There we go.
But yeah, no. What were you saying?
So I everything that comes down for the Marvel Cinematic Universe is if I had fun, and it doesn't take away from previous ones. I've had some issues with some Marvel movies, and we're going to talk about that a little bit more because most of them were in Phase 4, which was the phase right before Ant-Man kicks off Phase 5.
Yeah.
So
I also do feel with Phase 4. I think in 8 years from now, we're going to be able to look back at Phase 4 a little bit differently. I think like Age of Ultron, people shit on for a long time, but now when we actually go back in the context of seeing the rest of that Infinity Saga, you go back to Ultron and it's one of the more critical movies, and it's actually a lot better in retrospect than it was at the time.
Yep.
I think Phase 4, the entire phase, is going to be that way. I
think so?
That's my prediction.
Oh, interesting.
I do. I think that we're all going to look back on Phase 4 and think, God, why were we so hard on this?
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know that we necessarily were as hard on it as some people were, but I know some people were a little bit disappointed with Phase 4. But Phase 2 was also strange with the MCU if you look at it. It was very Phase 4-ish. So, yeah.
So the question I have for you now is with what you said earlier to Carol's question. Do we want to go into spoilers now?
I mean,
Is this the right spot for it?
I think you're flying, sir.
I think we should go into our spoiler section. So if you haven't seen Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, I would dip out for now. When you see the poster change on the YouTube, you can
I was going to change that actually.
Oh, you are?
I just wanted to have it up for kind of the intro, not the whole
gotcha. Okay.
conversation. But
So when you see the topic change, we're going to include Phase 5 with this. Okay, gotcha. We will let you know when it's safe to come back in, or come back to the episode when you've watched Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. But we're going to go into spoilers now with the...
all right, Carol says she turned it down. But yeah, thanks.
Carol, we'll throw it in the chat when it's okay to come back when we're talking
back in,
more Phase 5 talk.
Yeah.
All right? So...
Well, the Phase 5 might be affected by the Ant-Man stuff.
Oh, that's true. That's actually going to be probably the rest of the episode then, Carol, for the most part, I think.
Yeah.
All right.
Probably.
Thanks for coming, Carol. We appreciate you watching. When you watch the movie, come back and watch the episode. But so, first thing, and the big thing from...
I don't have a spoiler
from
alert,
Ant-Man.
but...
I know. Spoiler alert. Woo, woo, woo. There's your soundbite. I think the big thing that we have to talk about with Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania dude, Kang.
Okay.
Dude.
In my mind, I'm like, Peter's going to start one of two ways. Kang or Modok?
Dude, Kang.
Like Kang, all right.
Kang. We talked about him after the movie. We always stand around outside the theater talking.
Or inside in this case.
Or inside when it's cold,
It's freezing outside.
But Kang.
I mean, I've been loving him since Loki, dude. I love the character of Kang from the comics, but I think Jonathan Majors killed it in Loki, and I think he just absolutely pulverized it here as well.
He was unreal.
Yeah.
Good.
So good, yeah. So good.
His line, and I said this at the theater when we were done, his line that he gives to, what's Michelle Pfeiffer's character's name? I just based on her name.
Oh, I don't remember her first name. Janet. Yeah. Janet
his
Van
line,
Dyne,
his line to Janet when.
Thank you, Lydia.
Thank you, Lydia. When
should have known
it's
that.
easy for her to remember. That's her mother's name, so easy enough there for her. But his line. So we have the fixing the ship and the minds meld because the ship's controlled through the mind. And she's like, "What are you gonna do to all the people of all these worlds?" And he's like, "It's just simple. I'm gonna win."
Yeah.
That line solidified him as the big bad that he's supposed to be for me.
Yeah.
Like it just locked it in. I'm just like, let's fucking go.
Yeah.
I am so ready for the Kang Dynasty. I'm so ready for everything else that involves Kang.
Yeah.
If a movie coming up in the Marvel Cinematic Universe doesn't have Kang in it, I'm going to be just a smidge disappointed because I want him in everything.
Brace yourself then. Because I do believe I've heard Feige say that he has one appearance between now and Kang Dynasty.
God damn it.
I believe I'm correct on that he did say that. I mean, because, dude, you can't have him showing up in every movie.
Thanos didn't show up in every movie.
It's like the reason they had, like, the Inquisitors in Rebels, right? Like,
Yeah.
you can't have Darth Vader in there losing every week. Otherwise, you degrade Darth Vader.
The threat of him and everything like that.
Yeah, so.
And so, I mean, damn it.
Now, which movie that'll be, that's an interesting topic.
Yeah. Or show.
Yeah, I guess it could be a show.
It's true. I mean, Loki Season 2 comes out later this year.
Yeah. Yeah.
That makes more sense.
I'm still shocked by how popular Loki is as a character. I mean, I get it, I guess, but, like, my God, dude. Like, I think
everyone's dog is named Loki. I swear it's like the most popular animal name. Like, there's this thing going around,
and it's wrong because Loki should be a cat. Because let's just say, if Loki was Loki, Tom Hiddleston's Loki was an animal, what would it be?
a cat.
A cat.
And it would be an asshole.
Yeah, mischievous asshole.
Knocking things off the table.
Dude, is that not just Loki?
Meowing at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
clawing your foot for no fucking reason in the middle of the night.
Yeah, Loki is definitely more of a cat personality than a dog. But yes, you're right. A lot of dogs. But no, I can't believe how popular the MCU and Tom Hiddleston has made that character, man. Like, there's people that rank him above any of the Avengers.
Yeah.
Like, it's
there
crazy
was a
to me.
love for him, and when he was dead in Infinity War, people were like, all right,
yeah,
right.
I think they legitimately were going to have him be dead. And I think when they saw the reaction, that's why Endgame did what it did.
We got to bring him back somehow.
I mean, it's comic books. Nobody stays dead except for the Waynes and Uncle Ben. But
you're not wrong. It just hurts me.
It's true. They're the only ones that stay dead.
I
Everyone else
know.
comes back. I mean, even Gwen Stacy came back 20 years later, for
That's
God's
true.
sake. It felt like they weren't going to course correct that quickly. But
Yeah.
when they did, I really think that came down to the response with the audience for Loki. So, surprised to me.
Yeah. So, with that, with King, and seeing him fight later on, we saw that he has fighting chops. And then he died. Do you think he's gone? Do you think that Kang the Conqueror, that's the version of him, do you think he's gone?
I do. That version is gone.
You think it's going to be the rest of the Kangs that's going to be the...
What I believe is no, I believe that version is going to be back, but that was his death. I think I mentioned this in the theater.
Yeah.
So I do believe
That's what it was.
that when he talks about they put me here, I believe that is going to end up being Reed Richards. That is going to be the Avengers. At the end of this whole thing, that Kang that ended up in the quantum realm, that is where they put him to stash him away. So when he dies, I think long term, the quantum realm time doesn't work right.
Yep.
It doesn't work the same. So I really believe that at the end of the entire Kang Dynasty saga, they're going to end up beating Kang, capturing him, putting him in the quantum realm. Then Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania comes through, and then he dies at the end of that. That is going to be the end of that Kang. Now, there's going to be multiple other versions of Kang, but I think that version, that is actually his end.
Yeah.
But in this weird fucking mind-twisty way,
Yeah.
he's still going to be the rest of this thing. If that makes any sense. It's really hard to completely put words to, but
Oh, yeah.
I think that is his end. I think we just saw his very end of his character
Yeah.
at the very beginning, which is the perfect bat-shitty type thing that a comic book should do.
Absolutely.
So, but yeah, I think at the very end, though,
Yeah.
we're going to tie back to this, and it's going to be Reed Richards and the crew finding that the quantum realm is the best place to put him. Cassie, maybe even. being
Cassie's the one that's like, put him there. We know that we can beat him.
Yeah.
Like, we
that's-
beat him once, we'll do it again. And then they find out that the first time was actually that time.
Yeah.
Eaton says, drink the goo, which was the funniest fucking part of that whole movie was that goo guy.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
He was so funny. When he goes running into battle.
oh, yeah, dude. Like, it is like Korg level of fan
Yeah.
favorite, it seems to me. They also put character posters out just recently. Spoilers are now, like, not a thing.
Yeah.
So they put out character posters like MODOK, and he was one, too. They put,
Oh, was he the
they
goo
put
guy?
The goo guy, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's, yeah.
Jello Kirby, as I call him, because he sucks that guy in.
Great character. I'm the only one in the theater that laughed when he got shot to hell before we all realized that he wasn't going to die.
God. You were laughing because you're like, this fan favorite just died
Just
on
got
screen.
pulverized.
And everyone is hurting, so I'm laughing because I'm a monster. Hashtag Ted is terrible.
I don't know about that. I don't know about being a monster, but
You're a
it
monster,
did
sir.
make me laugh.
Glorifying in people's pain is a monster. That's like
Oh.
monster level stuff.
I don't know.
MODOK was okay. I wasn't like over the moon with him. I know some people are, but I'm like,
He's a big character in Marvel.
I know.
So.
It's just like
And just such a fucking weird ass character too that it's like
the little legs, little arms.
You'd never think that
Yeah.
like MODOK could be on. It seems like every couple years something in the MCU happens where like as a kid growing up with comic books, I mean, dude, especially back when I was a kid, they couldn't get a fucking Spider-Man movie off the ground, for God's sake. So the idea that there would be any of this shit, I mean, I remember saying that with like Civil War, where it's like, if you would have told me as a kid that one day Captain America and Iron Man and a whole group are going to be fighting in an airport, like, I would have said you're fucking insane. There's no way. They can't even get a goddamn Spider-Man movie made, for Christ's sake. But then, like, furthermore, if you would have told me in 2008 that, hey, at one point MODOK is going to show up in the, the brand that is now launching with this Iron Man movie, MODOK is going to be in. No way, dude.
Not a chance.
I mean, we didn't know if Avengers was going to work, right?
Yeah.
Like, they alluded to it in Iron Man, but it's like, even Feige is like, we didn't know if we were actually going to be able to get Avengers off the ground. So, yeah, the thought that something as batshit as that would happen. So, and I think they just did great at making him so grotesque, too. Like, he just... like, there were gasps in the theater with this reveal.
And his face, well, like when he pulled up the face shield.
And I love it because every single character that Darren knew had a moment with him. Hope's wasn't until the very end of the movie, but they did. They gave every single character a moment to, like, respond and react to him. And I loved that. I thought it was great.
Yeah. I'm not saying he's a terrible character or anything like that. He was great for what he did for the film, but I'm just not like head over heels for him like I am for Goo Guy.
Yeah.
I love the Goo Guy.
What about Living Houses?
The Living Houses was great. Like, this is a Tad moment for me. But in the final battle, when the one house is holding the other one, it's like mortally wounded and holding it. I couldn't help but laugh. I was like, oh my God, that's great.
Embrace it, sir. Embrace the dark side.
Oh. That one got me, and then the light guy, the guy that has like the yellow light when he dies.
Oh yeah. Bill Murray, small role there. There's a lot of people thought he was actually going to be MODOK.
Did you really?
Yeah, there's a lot of people that wondered that when they first announced that he was cast. In fact, I think the early rumor was that that's who he was cast as. So, that was a fun little just pop in for him. Yeah, I don't know. I love the way the story is structured, the way they kept revealing small things. As it went on and on. Everyone's like feelings toward Janet and stuff was pretty cool. Yeah, to see how they kind of unfolded all that.
I'm glad that they didn't like try to make it seem all wholesome, like she was down there for 30 years and then just Hank was up there for 30 years and they were celibate the whole time, waiting for the other one to come back. And no, they admitted like they're adults, like they had needs. And
well, and also, did either of them think that that was ever going to end?
Yeah,
like, she probably thought she was there for good. He thought she was dead. Yeah. He didn't think that she was alive.
Exactly.
Right?
So it's like I'm glad that they didn't do that. That whole cliche, like I waited for you.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, did you?
Yeah.
No, that was great. And then, what'd you think about Hank being the rescuer with the ants? Like they seemed like that was going to be like the big part of the battle, and then all of a sudden it's Ant-Man being big. And then the ants were the cavalry. It didn't seem like that was what the buildup was going to be.
I liked it because that's like the only time that we had ants in the movie.
I know, right?
An Ant-Man movie.
And it wasn't even controlled by Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't even control him.
No, I liked it.
I mean, OG Ant-Man, I guess.
Yeah, the original, or the real Ant-Man, as it were.
Hey.
Not the thief that stole shit. And
then got broken out by jail by him.
Yeah. No, I enjoyed that. I did like Douglas. That's why I said I almost wished I would have seen a little bit more from him because he's such a great iconic actor, and I love him playing Hank. So, wish I would have seen more, but I enjoyed what we saw for sure.
You were surprised that Paul Rudd's character survived.
Yeah, Scott Lang.
Lang.
Yeah, I had my theories that he would not survive the movie.
Yeah.
So that's a two-parter. First part, even before anything, I was like, what better way to establish, Kang as a threat than if he iced a dude in his own movie?
Yeah, like killed an Avenger in his own
movie. But also, Young Avengers is certainly percolating.
Coming back to that again.
And a big element of Cassie's story in the Young Avengers may or may not be Scott Lang's death. So...
Okay. So you were like, okay, this is going to be her launching.
Every superhero, right? Every superhero has to have some sort of trauma. So
yeah.
That's the big one for her. And I thought, what better way? The way they were structuring this movie, even from the trailers, that she's the one that starts it, right? She's the one that does something that triggers the whole thing. We didn't know from the trailers, but once we saw it in the movie, yeah, she's the one that was sending shit down there. Janet gets mad at her and shit. So if he would have died in this, it would have been her fault.
Yeah.
Right? Like in her mind especially. So
which is the common thing for a lot of superheroes. I mean, you got the Spider-Man in some iterations, not all,
Yeah.
where he lets the thief go, and that thief is the one that kills Uncle Ben.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Batman, Bruce is the one that wanted to leave the play or the movie or whatever early. So if they would have just left out of the crowd and stuff, the Waynes would probably still be alive.
Trying to make Batman out to be the bad guy. I want to buy it.
No, I'm just putting it myself in where his head is. That's exactly what he thinks, though,
Yeah.
right? So, I don't know about old Dick Grayson. Does he ever feel responsible? Or is it just survivor's guilt for him?
Survivor's guilt for him. I mean, he was on the trapeze with his parents. It just didn't break until later in the show. So only when those two were out there.
Yeah.
So there's that one.
Yeah. No, so that was my prediction going in. But it was bold, I know. But also, the other part of it is just the realistic nature of it. I don't know how much longer a lot of these older established actors are going to stay involved in this.
I was gonna say, Michael Douglas looked like he was struggling at times to physically to perform fight moves and stuff like that. But he also is supposed to be in his 70s.
Yeah.
Like the character Hank Pym was
Yeah,
in his 30s in
was it
the 50s?
60s?
60s?
When they were the Garden State stuff?
Yeah.
So exactly. Probably in his 20s for that, though.
Yeah.
He's pretty young in Endgame.
Yeah,
So.
so it's just like, how long is he going to be around? Like, is he just going to fade into the black? Is he going to
Yeah.
get iced? Is he going to be around and just
Yeah.
not mentioned anymore? Like, what are we going to get a line? Yeah, Hank and Janet retired to Cabo. They moved to Maui, or, they live in Alaska.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? The Kang Dynasty could have a lot of
It's
repercussions.
true.
But
It could.
I really enjoyed the movie. Is there any other topic points you wanted to hit?
I don't think there's anything else with Ant-Man. I do want to save some time for Phase 5, so if you're ready, we can move over to that, because we do want to discuss Phase 5 as well, because Ant-Man is the kickoff for Phase 5.
Yeah, what did also credits-wise? So we have,
Right, the end credits and everything like that.
yeah.
We got the Loki end credit scene with Morbius, where we see them looking at a Kang in the, 1900s, would you say?
Yeah.
Kind of look like
What
a
else did we get?
snake
There's
oil.
that one.
And then there's the birthday party. Scott Lang was like, I did good, right? Like, I didn't just kill everyone, did I?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Was that an end credit scene?
I think so. I don't know. I don't remember. I was
I know the
struggling
end
to-
credit scene was definitely the. Oh no, the other one was the Council of Kings.
Oh, that's right.
That's right.
Yeah. Duh.
Yeah, the Council of Kings, where they're like,
Yeah.
who did you call? Everyone. And it
Yeah.
shows all the different Kangs.
Yeah. I'm pretty excited to see what else we have coming, but no, I enjoy this movie a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know where would you rank it with the other Ant-Man movies?
I liked it better than 2.
I was gonna say I'm kind of thinking maybe the same thing. Is I may have liked it more than 2.
I love 1. Establishing the Ant-Man character, Scott Lang's origin story, the first time Shrinking's in the bathtub and everything like that
Yeah.
were some of the coolest stuff, because everything with superheroes is bigger.
Yeah.
Captain America goes in small and comes out bigger with the serum.
Yeah.
Thor's a huge guy. Hulk gets bigger. Iron Man suits get bigger with the Hulk Buster.
Yeah.
To have someone go smaller and it be just as cool
Yeah.
was refreshing. Plus, Ant-Man 1 was my introduction to the character. I knew who Ant-Man was, but
you knew an Ant-Man existed.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about him.
Yeah.
Nothing. Like, I didn't know that his whole thing is momentum
Yeah.
and everything like that. So learning all that stuff, and then having the Wasp, and then the
And
humor.
Darren was great.
Yeah, Darren Cross was a great
His
villain.
Yellow Jacket.
And then
Plus that
that damn humor in
Thomas
that movie.
the Train,
Yeah,
whatever.
absolutely.
Battle was wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
No!
I
And it
think
just falls off.
I think the first one's great. The second one I enjoyed a lot too, but I think this one actually tops the second one for me a bit
Yeah.
too. What do you think of the missing of the wombats?
The Wombats.
Luis and all the fucking
Oh,
whole-
I didn't. I see people throwing
There's
fits
a
about
lot of
that.
people kind of mad because they just people love those characters, so
Yeah.
to drop all of them, I don't know where they would have fit, but
That's exactly what I was going to say. Is I don't think that with the story that we told, I don't think there's a spot for them. So that being said, I think there needs to be a spot for them later on. Where that is, I don't know. Or if there's not a spot, you know what? It's okay.
yeah,
You know, they don't always have to be in a movie. you
yeah,
know? Maybe in Ant-Man 4
yeah. We don't know.
because he didn't die, so
Yeah, yeah. Although the one guy played the goo guy,
he did.
so
The Russian one.
yeah, he played the actor-wise played the goo guy.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Let's see.
Phase 5 time?
Let me go ahead and get this up on the screen.
Yeah, so here's our Phase 5, and we're going to talk about the greater Phase 5, but we're only going to be talking movies this time. We're not going to be going into a lot of the TV shows because there is more TV shows scheduled
There's a lot of TV.
than there is for, and when we say TV, obviously we mean series on Disney Plus, but it's
Yeah.
shows, TV
Shows,
show.
not
Yeah.
movies.
Shows, not movies. So basically, I grabbed this real fast. I wanted to go over. We have Ant-Man and the Wasp, which just came out in February. We have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which comes out in May of this year. The Marvels comes out in November of this year. And then next year, we get the other 3 movies. So 6 movies in Phase 5. So next year, Captain America, A New World Order comes out May 3rd, 2024. Thunderbolts is July 26, 2024. And then Blade comes out September 6, 2024. So, with that, I wanted to ask you, first question. What movie are you most excited for in Phase 5?
Run through those one more time, just real
All right,
quick.
So we got Ant-Man and the Wasp, Guardians
which
of the
is
Galaxy
done.
Volume 3, The
Okay.
Marvels, Captain America, New World Order, Thunderbolts, and Blade. Now, see, I have
Wait,
my...
is Thunderbolt's a movie? I thought that was a series.
No, it's a movie.
Dude, I thought that was a fucking series.
Yeah, it's a straight from the... I had to fact check it because I just pulled up Wikipedia.
They,
I copied
did
it
they change
over.
that? Because I swear
They
that was
changed
a show.
Captain America used to be a series as
No,
well.
that was always going to be a movie.
They said it was a series.
No, that one was announced as a movie.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
So Thunderbolts was the one that changed that.
Yeah, that one changed. That
Yeah.
was going to be a series, I think,
Yeah.
on Disney Plus. So
It is in pre-production currently, along with Captain America and Blade. The Marvels and Guardians are in post-production. Obviously,
So-
Guardians has a trailer. It's coming out in a couple months.
doesn't the Marvels have a teaser?
I don't think so.
Didn't they put a teaser out for that? I thought they did.
I don't think so. I haven't seen one.
Maybe not. Maybe it was just a poster. Yeah. I think it's going to be Captain America for me.
You think so?
Is my most anticipated of those. I mean, of course, Guardians is probably going to be the most popular with most people.
Yeah.
But for me, yeah, Cap 4, a lot of stuff.
Oh, Lydia's right. There was a trailer. There was not a trailer for the Marvels, but there was a poster.
Yeah, that's what I know there was a
Which
poster.
usually-
I could picture it in my head.
That's usually what happens is the trailer drops the day after a poster is released, but we didn't get one.
Yeah.
Not that I've seen.
No, I don't think. Yeah, maybe they just did the poster, and I don't know.
Okay.
I am pretty excited for the Marvels, though. I really enjoyed Miss Marvel, so I'm excited to see what comes of that. But Captain America is certainly my most anticipated. Definitely didn't expect that. I don't know. I don't know what I expected. I just didn't think there'd be another Captain America movie. So
Yeah.
when that was announced at the end of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, right, was when they announced. Or no, it got announced after that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one looks interesting, and I mean, Captain Americas are very consequential movies usually,
Yeah.
so I'm intrigued by that one.
I mean, the last 2 Captain America movies were huge for the Marvel Cinematic
The
Universe.
first one introduces the first Infinity Stone.
It's true. First Infinity Stone in the first one. The second one brought down
Just
Shield,
brought down Shield, yeah.
and then the third one
And
was
let's not mince words that Bucky. Being the Winter Soldier and
Oh, yeah.
being brought back, because like, let's be honest, he was the catalyst for the Civil War and stuff. So Bucky was a big deal too.
he was, and yeah, then 3 was the Civil War, which led to the Soviet
break everything up before
Avengers up,
before
which
Thanos
sets
comes
up
in.
for Thanos to really swoop in and kick them in the nards while they're down, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, absolutely.
What
But,
about you? Where's your excitement? Guardians?
As much as as much as I love Guardians, dude, I am really stoked for Blade.
Oh yeah.
I grew up watching the old Blade movie with Wesley Snipes, so
Yeah.
the vampire aspect of it and everything.
Yeah.
I know it's not going to be anything like that, but Mustafa Ali is dope.
Mahershala Ali.
Mahershala, I
Yeah.
apologize. Mahershala
Also,
Ali is...
I have a suspicion Moon Knight might be in that.
I got a feeling too, and that's one of the reasons why I'm really excited for it, because I fucking love Oscar Isaac.
Yeah, me too.
He did so well in Moon Knight.
He's a talented
and we
dude.
will be talking about the wider Phase 5 with the shows at a later episode. But just this time, the movies. I have another thing that I noticed with this one. While Blade is obviously the one I'm most excited for, Guardians is probably number 2, and then Captain America. I didn't know the plot for Marvels. We haven't seen anything for it.
I just loved Miss Marvel, so I really enjoyed that show a ton. So to see her in the larger context with her hero is just, I think that's going to be a joy to watch.
It's going to be a lot of fun. I bet you it is going to be a lot of fun. You're
kind of
right
like
about
the
that.
Ant-Man and Captain America thing, like the way that he treated Captain America at every turn.
Thank you for thinking of me.
Thanks for thinking of me.
Yeah.
No, just in general, and like that's America's ass. Like just everything. Just Ant-Man's all about, and I just think you're going to get the similar thing with Miss Marvel and Captain Marvel
and Carol.
Yeah.
Danvers.
So
yeah.
that should be. I don't know. That's fun. Honestly, I'm looking forward to everything. I am. But now, what do you think in terms of Phase 5 after seeing Ant-Man? Especially with Kang, like how do you?
See, I really thought Kang was going to be more involved. We already got the tease with that Loki's doing something with Kang, so I thought he was going to be more involved. Him not being involved in everything makes me rethink about Phase 5. Like I got to pivot real fast here because I was so stoked for Phase 5 because of Kang.
Yeah,
but Kang's not going to be in Phase 5. He's going to be in 1, is what you tell me. So that
one thing between now and Kang Dynasty, which is basically into
Phase 6.
Phase
6. So yeah, I'm kind of bummed about that a little bit, that I'm not going to get more Kang because dude, he was great. He was so good.
Yeah.
But looking at the list and everything like that, I don't see a.
What about the chat? Everyone in the chat, throw out. What are you guys most excited for?
Yeah.
Carol's asking if it's cool to come back.
I think so.
You want to throw it in the chat?
Yeah.
Phase 5. I don't know. I think I enjoyed Phase 4. I think they did a lot of cool things. I think they also were laying a lot of groundwork. For a lot of stuff in Phase 4. So
Phase 4 gets a lot of flack that I don't feel that it deserves.
No, because I think even like everyone's always like, oh, you know what, Ant-Man matched Eternals for lowest Rotten Tomato score. Dude, I loved Eternals. Was it a little bit flabby? Maybe a little bit long at certain stretches, yes. But with what they were covering, I don't think there was any way to get around that. I think the director, she did an incredible job. I think that movie was strikingly shot. I think it looked amazing. And I really enjoyed those characters for the most part. So
I will say Eternals was my weakest for Phase 4.
Really? I loved it, man. There was something...
We ranked the Phase 4 movies, didn't we?
What?
For this?
I don't know.
I sent it to you. I put my rankings out there. Did you rank yours?
I don't know. I didn't think that was for this episode.
Was it? I thought it was.
I don't know.
Oh,
I did.
Well, Eternals was my lowest one. But when you look at the lineup for Phase 4, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, Spider-Man No Way Home, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, Black Widow, Thor Love and Thunder, and Black Panther Wakanda Forever. All of those are great films.
I guess I don't have slides for it. But let's see. Did you send it to me? Where did you send it to me at? The list.
I shared a document with you.
Okay. I'm gonna. I'll just go on the fly here if we have to.
Yeah.
Let me just.
I got a list right here if you want me to.
Let me find where you there. Yeah. Okay. You did share it with me.
Yeah.
So. Let's go here. So you got number 1, Spider-Man.
Dude, great movie.
I mean, I guess we could have counted down, but whatever.
No, Spider-Man number 1. Yeah, the 3 Spider-Mans coming together. All the speculation on were they, weren't they. Then you see Doc Ock. You got the Willem Dafoe as Goblin. Sandman, Electro, all of that was just so good with Spider-Man.
Yeah. Oh man, it's tough to rank them.
It is, especially on the fly when you're on the air live.
Yeah. Let's see.
What's your top one?
It's God, that's a close one, man. Spider-Man and Doctor Strange are that's the hard one to rank for me.
I knew Doctor Strange would be a problem for you.
So good, dude. I think I'd go Spider-Man though.
Yeah?
Number one. So yeah, Spider-Man is number one. Let's see, Doctor Strange, 2. Then Shang-Chi is probably 3. I did enjoy that one quite a bit. Let's see, what am I missing here?
Black Panther,
Let's see, Black
Thor,
Panther,
Love and Thunder,
Thor.
Black Widow, and Eternals.
I think I'd probably go Black Widow actually in the 4 spot.
Okay.
And then probably Eternals.
Okay.
And then Black Panther. And then Thor is probably how I'd rank it.
Okay. So you got So Tad's Phase 4, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange
on the
fly. You saw it live here, folks. You saw the wheels turning and everything.
Saw the steam coming out
Yep.
from under my headphones.
Yeah.
No, and like honestly, I don't think there was any that I necessarily didn't enjoy either. This is more just
That's
how
the
I
one,
how I
thing
ranked
to
them.
understand is that just because a movie is 7th out of the Phase 4 rankings doesn't mean it's a bad movie.
No, because like Black Panther is like second lowest here, but like I loved it. Like
did?
Namor was he's one of my favorite comic book characters too.
Yeah.
I love those like slightly disgruntled that may go both good or bad, but that are
Yeah.
like super fucking powerful and I love those character types.
Yeah.
So
Tad had Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Shang-Chi, Black Widow, Eternals, Black Panther, and Thor. And then my 1 to 7 is Spider-Man, Shang-Chi, and the Legend of the Ten Rings, which honestly, that was a tough one not to put number 1.
yeah,
We'll get into that in a
was
second.
that was a good one.
Black Panther's number 3, Doctor Strange is 4, Thor, Love and Thunder is 5, Black Widow is 6, and Eternals is 7. Here's the reason why I ranked Eternals the lowest, because you were just talking about how good it was. Of these 7 movies, only one of them I've only watched one time in theaters, and that's Eternals.
Yeah.
I have no desire to go back and rewatch it. I don't know if that's just because maybe the media and people's opinions outside has leaked in a little bit into my
You should
brain.
watch it again at some point.
I need to. I've watched Shang-Chi 3 times. I've watched Spider-Man a couple times. I'm about to watch Black Panther again, also with my daughter, who's a huge Black Panther fan, which is going to be very hard on us. She's 10, so...
I mean, come on. We all watched Bambi as kids. Every kid has to be traumatized by
at some
stuff,
point,
right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Old Yeller,
Yeah.
Red Fern Grows, Land Before Time.
Yeah,
Let's list them here.
there's-
Artex and the Swamp of Sadness.
Yep.
Like, come on.
There's ones, you know. Porkins, episode 4.
Yeah, I mean, I cried for weeks. I cried for weeks to see that beloved hero die in such a
He's not a hero. Stop it.
Oh, he's the best,
But
sir.
I've gone back and I've rewatched Shang-Chi the most out of all of these.
Honestly, I don't think outside of Spider-Man and Doctor Strange, I don't think I've rewatched anything. In Phase 5 or Phase 4.
Maybe that's something we both need to get on is rewatch some Phase 4.
I will say,
But-
Eternals though, I've watched a number of scenes repeatedly on YouTube.
Yeah.
I love the scene where the dude breaks down about Hiroshima. I love the Celestial at the end. It's one of my favorite. Dude, the sound of
that
his
was
voice and
really
stuff
cool.
was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of cool stuff I
One
really
of-
enjoyed in that.
One of the things also to defend Phase 4 a little bit is that understanding is that Phase 4 movies, we had 7 movies, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 TV shows as well.
Yeah.
7 shows as well. Yeah,
And we'll talk about next time we get into the MCU, we'll talk MCU show rankings.
Yes.
For Phase 4.
There we go. That's there you go. Soon coming from Geekery Abides.
I don't know when
think
the next Marvel episode is, but next time we do, because one segment we've wanted to do is just like brief lists. We don't have to discuss them at length, but we can discuss them a bit. But just quick rankings, not like a whole episode of like, hey, let's do our top 10 horror movies. That'd be like a whole episode. But like something like this where it's just like, hey, on the fly, let's just rank Phase 4. Like that's something we want to do.
Like the on the fly stuff too, because it gets you creative juices flowing and discussing it as you go, kind of thing. But yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why Phase 4 hasn't got as much rewatch, and maybe that's why it doesn't have as much love. Is 2 reasons here. Here's my train of thought, and see if you agree with me. One, it came out super fucking fast. all 7 of those movies came out within 2 years. 2021 and 2022.
Wasn't planned, though.
Wasn't planned, obviously.
They lost a year.
Wasn't planned, obviously.
Yeah. They did lose a year.
They did lose a year because, and I'm not saying that was by choice or
Yeah.
fault of them or anything like that. But July 9th, 2021 to November 11th, 2022, we got 7 Marvel movies.
Yeah.
So there's quite a bit there. But then also in 2021, from January 2021 to August of 2022, we got, wait a minute, did I count wrong? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shows, not 7, 8 shows. We got more shows than we did movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Going all the way from WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Loki, What If, Hawkeye, Moon Knight, Miss Marvel, and She-Hulk. So we had 8 shows.
Yeah.
Which the shortest one is 6 episodes, the longest one is 9. They're all 6 or 9 episodes. There is no in between.
Anyone that would complain, I would just say you don't understand comics, because that's this feels like comics to me. Comics are the same way, where you're like, oh, I collect X-Men, and I also collect like Fantastic Four, but then I'll buy that, but then like suddenly there's like all these like big events and stuff, and like as a comic book reader, this
all
is
of a
like,
sudden there's Civil War, and you have to understand why Spider-Man's fighting Wolverine.
Exactly, and you have to like
that.
suddenly buy a bunch of like. I just feel like, and I'm not saying that to be like gatekeepery or like judgy. It's just a matter of like, this is literally what it feels like.
Comic
this
books.
is what it feels like to read comic books. Is you start to get overwhelmed, where it's like, Jesus Christ, there's so many things coming out. How do I read them all? But
back to our topic about Black Panther. Carol says generational trauma must be passed down.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
Indeed,
I do. Yeah. But I already did that with Spider-Man in Infinity War. I don't feel very good, Mr. Stark, because Spider-Man's one of her favorites.
Didn't she react to Black Panther? Because she loves Black Panther as well.
She loves Black Panther. That's one of the reasons why Black Panther 2 is going to be such a Wakanda Forever is going to be so hard for her.
Yeah,
it's because she knows that the actor died. We don't hide it from her.
Yeah,
like we explained it to her that he was sick and everything like that. So
yeah,
that is definitely rough. But back to Phase 4, I think that having 8 shows and it coming out so fast together, I think it just made it so that there really wasn't much time to rewatch stuff.
Yeah,
like
and digest.
I look back on it now, man. Dude, we were talking about it when we came out of Ant-Man. I gotta rewatch Loki, man. I don't remember half the shit that was in that show.
Yeah,
you were telling me some of the stuff that happened in Loki, and I'm like, wait, it did? Wait, that's what happened? Because I was confused by the end credit scene. I'm like, what the hell is Owen Wilson's character doing there? Morbius? I'm like, what's he doing there? He died. And he's like, dude, he went and found another one from another timeline.
He didn't know it. And he just
yeah. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
dude, I gotta go rewatch Loki. But to rewatch Loki, that's 6 episodes.
Yeah,
you
could do that in a Saturday
instead of doing this. No, but that's my point. Is I think that it coming out in 2 years, you got a compact timeline. And then you also have 8 shows on top of it and 7 movies in that compact timeline. I think it just makes it so that people don't appreciate Phase 4. Whereas I actually looked into this. Phase 1 took place over 4 years. Phase 2 took place over 3 years. Phase 3 took place over 3 years. Then Phase 4 took place over 2 years. Phase 5 takes place over 2 years, but only has 6 movies instead of 7.
Yeah.
3 this year, 3 next year. But then Phase 6, as it is scheduled now, because all of this is subject to change, is scheduled over 3 years.
Yeah.
So I think you're right. COVID played a large part of it.
Yeah.
Stuff got pushed back. Black Widow was supposed to come out way sooner,
2020.
Wasn't it?
Yeah.
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 But the pandemic obviously shut that down and everything.
Yeah.
But I think that may be the reason why Phase 4 is remembered so what's the right word? So negatively.
Yeah, there's some negativity.
There's some negativity towards Phase 4, but I think that like you said with Age of Ultron, I think when we get time and we get removed from it, and people have time to go back and rewatch.
Not just that. What I'm saying is that future projects are going to make us look back on Phase 4 differently.
I think that's
because that's what
too.
it was. Age of Ultron. It wasn't that people just rewatched it. No, it's that as Phase 3 and stuff panned out and you got to the end, you were able to go back and see some of the stuff in.
True.
They were laying pipe in Ultron that didn't pay off until Infinity War and Endgame.
Yeah.
And I just think that the same thing's happening here with Phase 4. There's some stuff they're building. They're laying some track, that is not maybe going to pay off until 2025 or 2026.
Right.
So I think after that happens and we're through Phase 6 and like this whole thing's done and we've got mutants and Fantastic Four and all that fun stuff in our universe, you're going to be able to go back to this Phase 4 and realize
that connects to that.
Kind of
what
what
does that?
Yeah, exactly. I think that But here's a topic we should maybe add to our list.
Go on. I got my notes ready.
Phase 4, TV or movies versus.
Oh, you take one, I take the other, and we debate it.
Or we both answer the question in terms of like, what did you like? If you really take the whole of it and take the Phase 4 shows versus the Phase 4 movies, what did you enjoy more? Like, and not to answer it now, obviously. I think that's because I think that's one to put some thought into. Because, like, again, maybe we haven't rewatched some of this stuff. Maybe a lot of the TV probably haven't rewatched at all. So it's like maybe
I
it's
haven't
even
watched a single one of Phase 4 TV shows more than once.
Yeah,
None of them, and I loved some of them. Carol asks, I couldn't get myself to keep watching She-Hulk. Just me. I like She-Hulk.
I did. I'm a sucker for Hulk in general. So
you are a big Hulk fan.
And I feel like as this goes on, though, we're gonna hear me saying that a lot. There's just a few characters that have always been huge to me, and Hulk's one of them.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed it. I do kind of think that it is very different. And I don't think a lot of people jive with that, and it's totally fine if you don't.
It's
Just because I like something doesn't mean you have to like it, or vice versa. I could hate something you like. It's totally fine.
You could think Eternals was the worst Marvel movie ever made,
but I think
okay.
I think like their whole idea with there was just like, hey, what if Ally McBeal was a superhero, and they just were literally trying to make like a half-hour legal comedy that just so happened to have a Hulk in it, and I don't know, but I enjoyed it for what it was. I guess I don't know, but
yeah.
Yeah, the Hulk stuff gets me though. I love it. I love the Hulk. He's one of my favorites.
Yeah. So I mean, I think that's a good one. I wrote it down. Phase 4 shows versus movies. I don't know, man. I think we might have to take opposite sides here and debate.
Well,
it
we
a
have to
little
figure
bit.
out if we're both on the opposite side
It
first.
doesn't matter. Sometimes you're like an attorney. Sometimes you have to take a case that you may not fully believe.
I got to get my dark glasses.
The red glasses
For my if I'm going to do my legal.
I actually got a decal of that of that for Christmas.
What,
That's
Nelson and Murdoch?
No, I got it's a pair of his, because he not dark glasses. He wears like red glasses, and then it says, "I'm a very good lawyer." I'm like, dude, but I haven't had a chance to put it on my freaking car because the weather here in Utah sucks.
Yeah, it does. You used to have a bunch of stickers on your window.
I did until my window got smashed. Thanks for bringing that trauma up, you jerk.
And then Carol says only watch first episode, may give it another try. I think that's the main thing, is that if you are going to dive into it and try it again, just understand it's not a normal MCU thing. Like literally the pitch on it was like, hey, let's just make Ally McBeal, but that she's a Hulk instead of...
Yeah, go in with the mindset that it is absolutely a sitcom.
Yeah.
It is not a action adventure.
It's not
Marvel
WandaVision.
movie.
It's not WandaVision.
It's not WandaVision. It's not going to have deep undertones or anything like that. It is absolutely a comedy, situational comedy, which is what sitcom is and everything like that. And then Lydia says, I love character show movies that break the fourth wall, and it just hits my funny bone, which is the reason why she loves Deadpool so freaking much. Is because he is the like lead fourth wall breaker. I mean, he's not the only one. He's not the first, but he is. If you walked up to someone and said, hey, name a character who breaks the fourth wall in comic books, Deadpool's going to get majority of the answers. So, speaking of which, we got a Deadpool movie coming out.
Also, because I think like when Stan Lee died, I think in one of the comic issues, Deadpool's one of the only comic book characters that mourned the loss of Stan Lee.
That's really cool that they did that. Not cool that Stan Lee passed away. I mean
he was in his upper 90s, so it's not like
he lived a good life.
Yeah, as I'll say, you can't really call it a tragedy. I mean, it's definitely sad to lose him. We would have loved to have had him forever, but to be real, like he lived a damn good life, long time. He was great.
I got a couple more things here on Phase 5 to kind of divert back, and we still got the slide up for it. So I noticed something with Phase 5 when I was putting together my notes here.
Okay.
Are we getting many new heroes? Phase 4 only had a couple. We got Shang-Chi and the Eternals, but aside from that, we didn't really get any new heroes. We got minor ones: Ironheart, Clea, Charlize Theron's character in the Doctor Strange end credit scene, And then Yelena, who's Black Widow's sister, who's going to be in Thunderbolts and everything like that. But did we really get, I mean, literally Shang-Chi and the Eternals are the Eternals going to be part of the MCU? Like it doesn't, one of the things you pointed out, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is no one's mentioned the Celestial sticking out of the Pacific Ocean. Exactly. At all. And we've had a ton of stuff since then. Namor lives in the ocean and didn't mention the freaking Celestial coming out of the ocean. I mean, it feels like this might be like an alternate reality where this is happening or something. I mean,
it isn't though, because they mentioned Tony Stark
and
stuff. So
but they could have a Tony Stark in there. Doctor Strange exists in other universes, alternate. I'm just saying, it's just interesting that we don't have that. But looking at Phase 5, Ant-Man and the Wasp, no new characters really.
I mean, Cassie as a
Cassie maybe.
Yeah,
but again. Is Cassie going to be a main character in a movie?
Young Avengers.
No, not a team-up movie. A Ant-Girl, Ant-Woman movie. No. Okay, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Adam Warlock's in the trailer.
Yeah.
Probably not going to get anyone else. Captain America, New World Order. We have our new Captain America already. That's established. Thunderbolts. All those characters have been introduced already. Blade. That's the only new one.
I think there's some others that'll slide in.
You think there's going to be some other ones that slide in?
Yeah,
there?
Isaiah Bradley's grandkid in Falcon Winter Soldier.
Oh,
Isaiah Bradley was the first or the second super soldier after Steve.
The one that they unlawfully imprisoned for no reason.
The grandkid you see there, he's a Young Avenger. So we've seen him.
You're really hell-bent on believing that Young Avengers is going to happen.
Oh, absolutely. One of those untitled movies is, dude,
even though Feige says there's no plans for it right now.
Yeah, my ass. My ass. Just like he said that there's that, like that, just like he said the title of the second movie was not mentioned in Infinity War. Remember that? Because everyone's like, oh, it's going to be called Endgame. And they denied it up and down. No, it's not called Endgame. No, the title of the movie was not mentioned in Infinity War.
Okay.
They're gonna lie, for God's sake. And he's even said in some interviews, he's like, what am I supposed to do, tell you the truth and spoil it?
I mean, they've been also doing that in trailers more so than other companies, is that they've been flat out lying to us in trailers.
Yeah.
The big one that comes to mind, obviously, is Infinity War. They have the big shot where everyone's rushing out of the jungle in Wakanda, and you have the Hulk there, getting ready to punch. Hulk isn't even in Infinity War except for that first, 20 minutes.
Yeah, when he gets throat punched.
Oh.
Yeah, he gets throat punched, and then he doesn't show up again because he learned his lesson.
That's why you always say to throat punch people.
Yeah, he waits until Thanos is off planet, then he comes back.
Yeah, I just noticed that there's not really, doesn't seem like there's a pathway to introducing new heroes.
But we've already had a lot introduced.
That's just true.
I mean, you got Miss Marvel. I mean, think of some of what we've already established, right? You also got both of Wanda's kids, which will show back up.
Even though they're in an alternate universe, not in ours.
Just like X-Men are. And the X-Men are coming. Fantastic Four don't exist in this universe right now. So
not yet.
Because they're Young Avengers. They'll be back.
Okay.
They'll be back.
You're hearing this, folks. Tad's guaranteeing Young Avengers will happen.
Oh, it will.
What happens if it doesn't? Are you going to riot?
Oh, it'll happen, sir. You know what? It's going to be funny is if maybe it doesn't actually happen. But when it comes to Avengers Kang Dynasty, it's the Young Avengers that are the Avengers.
Because the Avengers got taken out? That's happened before.
Yeah,
they've done that where the Justice League gets taken out and the Teen Titans have to go rescue them, or Young Justice or whatever they're called.
They can't be laying all these pieces for no fucking reason. They're not just doing it for it's like the Infinity Gauntlet, seeing Odin's thing. It's just like you put that in there, that was so early that they didn't know if they were going to be able to pull off the Infinity. But ultimately, it's like you establish that. Like the Infinity Stones, they didn't do that going, maybe one of these days we might think about Thanos, the Infinity. No, they fucking knew, and they were planting those stones and that's what they're doing here with the Young Avengers. They're coming, sir.
Considering the first time we see Thanos is in Avengers.
Yeah, but they didn't know what they were going to be able to get away with in terms of a lot had to happen and happen right to get to where we got.
I think you're overstating that they started planting the seeds of Thanos early on. I don't think that was
in the first Captain America.
The very first Captain America. You
With
mean
the Tesseract?
You mean the movie that happened right before Avengers and the end of Phase 1? That's not early on, sir.
That's
That's
pretty early.
the end of the phase. That's not early.
That's pretty
on.
early. And they've said that with Thanos in Avengers, they said they did not know if that would actually pan out. That could have just been a small little wink to the audiences that would know. And there's a chance that things didn't work right and they never got to where we got. Like,
can I ask you a question? This just popped into my head. When did the Tesseract become a thing that was okay for people to hold?
because it's not direct.
Like, no, but in the very first Avengers, if you held the Tesseract, you disappeared. It melted through ships. Like, it was a terrible thing to touch. And then all of a sudden now it's just like, I can hold it. Crush it. Take the
Yeah, I mean,
space stone out.
Thanos is a god, so he can do whatever he wants.
Loki holds it.
Loki's a god.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, frost giant.
No, that's not a god.
Yeah, god of mischief, sir.
Hey, Odin says it himself. They believe we're gods and that we can't die, but we absolutely can be killed. I mean, his mom proved that point.
And Lydia mentioned Spider-Man when they CG'd all the Spider-Man out in the action sequence.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. You make it think that it's just Tom Holland. Absolutely. Good call.
Yeah.
That absolutely is an example of Kevin Feige pulling shit on us, pulling the wool over eyes. So see, watch. He's pulling the wool over eyes. There is no Young Avengers.
Oh, there is. They're not adding characters in there. He's saying that it's not. They have no plans for it. That's the bamboozle, sir. That's the bamboozle. Okay. And then, of course, I also do have another slide as well. The most happy slide.
Phase 6, the stuff that we know about Phase 6 so far.
Which is very little. Yes, Fantastic Four, the first family of Marvel.
And 2 Avengers.
Finally getting made properly. I'm saying that
so
I'm saying that in pure faith, of course, because who knows? But likely the first time, and also the first family of Marvel finally entering the Marvel Cinematic Universe, as well as Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars.
And one other movie, just throwing it out there. It's not on this slide. Deadpool 3 is also included with that.
I don't know. Is that Phase 6?
Yes. Oh, according to Wikipedia, at least. It's being released
because I don't know that it's shown up on any of the charts, so I don't know if we really know where it's at.
According to this, it says Phase... that's what Wikipedia says, but we all know Wikipedia, so let's leave it with that.
Yeah.
I mean, it has been announced, though. I mean, we have the...
Oh, yeah, no. It's happening, certainly. I just don't know where it falls in all this. I'm very excited for some of the stuff in Phase 6. I don't want to overlook Phase 5, but some of the Phase 6 stuff is very exciting. My prediction, if Kevin Feige's statement that Kang is going to only be in one movie between now and Kang Dynasty, I believe it will be Fantastic Four.
Really? Think he's going to be the big bad?
I don't know about that.
You think he's just going to pop in?
Yeah, I think that...
Snap a neck and then leave?
He's tied pretty closely to the Fantastic Four.
Is he?
So
okay.
Yeah. So I do think that he's gonna. That's where he's gonna come. In my opinion, just total speculation. Okay. Outside of Mr. Feige, I don't know how many people actually know for sure, or if Feige changes his mind and he shows up.
Do that?
Yeah, he shows up other places. But, I'm pretty excited. What are you? What's your excitement level? What in terms of these?
Fantastic Four has hurt me before, so I kind of hold a bitterness to them. Although I did never watch the horrible remake.
Oh yeah,
one.
That's good.
I never with Michael B. Jordan as Johnny Storm. I never did watch that one. I heard just how utterly terrible it was. Not just necessarily from critics, but also from fans as well.
It wasn't good.
So I never saw that.
Michael Fassbender, Dr. Doom.
Unpopular.
That's my call.
Unpopular opinion. I didn't mind the first 2 Fantastic Fours with Chris Evans as Johnny.
No, the first one wasn't bad for what it was. The second one,
wasn't great.
It started getting a little bit more iffy.
But, Fantastic
also,
Four.
I do believe we are going to see those characters return.
Those 4.
You
think Chris Evans is going to come back as Johnny Storm?
I do 100%
Jessica
believe.
Alba is Sue?
Secret Wars, I believe we are going to see.
Really?
Every version of every character that has ever existed in Marvel will be in Secret Wars, in my opinion. That is my prediction. I think we're going to see X-Men. I think we're going to see Fantastic Four. We're going to see... what else is there? All the Spider-Man will be there. I do think...
Battle World.
I think Secret Wars is going to be... some nutty shit. I also
I think the other Spider-Mans will be back.
the other Spider-Man. I'm trying to think of some of the other. What else have we had? Blade. I do think
Blade.
Wesley Snipes might be. I think it could be
Isn't
fucking
he in some legal trouble?
maybe, but
So,
yeah, I don't know. If possible.
yeah.
I think there's I think that one's good. So yes, that's my prediction. And Chris Evans, I do believe he's even said that he has no qualms with potentially playing Johnny Storm again. So
Yeah.
that would be hilarious.
Yeah. It would be so funny. I could just see someone looking at him being like Thor.
They gotta
Like-
make a
like
comment, right?
Like Chris Hemsworth just looking at him just being like, you look like someone I know.
Yeah, like it's like
I know you.
It's like the roadie line in Iron Man 2.
I'm here. Deal with it.
Yeah, I'm here. It's me. Deal with it. Like, of course, he's just talking like, yeah, I'm here at this hearing. But like for the audience, it's like, yep, sorry, man, we just recast.
Yeah.
Thank God they did too. He's so much better.
He is. He's
I
great.
love Don Cheadle, and I hate Terrence Howard. I've never been a
He's
fan
going
of
to be
his.
in Captain America, isn't he?
Maybe.
Or is he getting a series? What
Maybe.
did
I don't know.
they did something with him?
Yeah, Spider-Men. Yes, indeed. Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of fun stuff in those future things. I don't know which one I'm more excited for though. In this of those three that are showing on screen right now, that's tough, man. Because all three of those are like
Kang.
top
Kang-
level
Kang
stuff for
Dynasty.
me.
Dude,
And-
I think I'm officially on board with Kang being like the cream of the crop for me now. So I'm like,
and I'm going to go back to just us here with you know what I'm going to say? It may surprise you a bit. Kang may be my third on that list.
No, I understand that. I know you're a huge fan of Fantastic
Secret
Four.
Wars and Fantastic
And
Four.
Secret Wars is a big one. That is, we've been talking about Secret Wars ever since it was announced. That's where we believe that things are going to get pulled in.
Oh yeah.
The X-Men.
X-Men, and you're going to
Yeah.
see Hugh Jackman, Patrick Stewart, what's his name, playing Cyclops. I think you're going to legitimately see like everyone.
Lydia asked, do you think Deadpool will be in Secret Wars? It's
Oh yeah.
possible.
Oh, absolutely. No,
Yeah?
no chance he's not.
No-
No
yeah.
chance he's not.
All right. There you
No.
go.
I think there is. Yeah, I would be absolutely stunned if he wasn't. I believe that's where you're going to see Deadpool and Spider-Man cross paths.
Oh, about time.
You're going to see. I don't know. Just Moon Knight and Deadpool. I mean, I think you're.
the Thing and Hulk.
Yeah. Those two have gone at it before.
They have.
That's always fun.
The Hulk versus Wolverine.
Yeah, Namor and Thing was a big one in Civil War. I think there was
Namor
a
versus Thing.
yeah, there was a whole
Really?
fight with those two that was like a standalone issue of just those two duking. Because like in Civil War, if I remember correctly, there was standalone issues of just basically like fights. So there was the story stuff, but then there was like offshoot side titles where it was like Thing versus Namor, and it was
Yeah.
just like and I think I've read that one a
Okay.
couple times, which is pretty cool. So
That does sound fun.
so now she says if that's the case, then Secret Wars is
I want to see everything with Kang. I do.
No, I do. I do love Kang, and I can't wait to see more of him. But Fantastic Four, man, I've been waiting my whole
I get
life
it.
to
I
see
do.
them done properly. Also, like I don't know what we're gonna get there. Is it gonna be Doctor Doom? Are they gonna pull their punches and go someone else to start? And then Secret Wars, like that's next to like Civil War. I actually think honestly Secret Wars might be bigger than even Infinity War comic book wise.
Yeah.
So like that's a big event. So.
No, absolutely. And Fantastic Four, you're right, is a huge addition to the MCU. It's been a long time coming. We know what their movies were before. Like you said, first family of Marvel,
Yeah.
first team ups and stuff like that, and everything.
That was the
usually
launch of the modern Marvel age.
Yeah.
I mean, Ant-Man and Captain America existed before from like the early era of like the 50s and 40s and stuff, but like the launch of like the Stan Lee driven era of that we all love as Marvel, like that started with Fantastic
It was
Four.
before
So
X-Men. It was before all of the other stuff.
yeah, exactly. So
I do want to see Daredevil.
yeah, I know
Daredevil
we're
is-
mostly focusing on the movies, but yeah.
But Daredevil is definitely something I'm really excited for. I want to see.
I
him.
am slightly bummed about the outfit though. I know
Yeah?
it's
You like
comic
the- you like
accurate,
the-
but
you
dude,
don't like the yellow?
The one from Netflix is
The
fucking
red?
divine, dude.
Yeah.
It is absolutely perfect.
I do know that you get quite upset a little bit when they deviate from the comics.
No, because the one that they did in She-Hulk, and he'll probably use in that's a comic accurate as well.
Yeah.
It's like Batman. You have multiple versions
Sure.
over the years and stuff. But I just love that
The all red.
classic. Yeah, like I said, the Netflix series, that was just divine. That was perfect. That was absolutely. He may have well walked on water with that outfit on. So,
Okay.
yeah. I'm excited for that, though, show-wise. Yeah, because I think all the shows, that's a whole different conversation because there's a lot
I
to look
hope
at.
that Daredevil gets more big screen time because he showed up in Spider-Man, which, of course, was a huge thing.
Yeah.
That was huge. But
and also,
I want him in more films.
I knew I was forgetting it. The other prediction, all the Netflix people will show up in Secret Wars.
All of them.
I believe they will all.
Iron Fist.
Not
Luke
that
Cage.
not that they're going to like branch out and be their own thing like Daredevil is, but I do think you'll see Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, Luke Cage,
Yeah.
Punisher.
The Defenders.
Yeah, you'll see all of them. I
And
believe.
Punisher.
Yeah, I believe that you'll see all of them.
Dude,
which
that's gonna be crazy.
yeah, totally. I don't know shit. I'm just speculating here. But Secret Wars is kind of like that. You throw all your toys on the table to play.
Yeah.
And that's what I think we might be in for.
Lydia says the Netflix Daredevil suit is chef's kiss.
Oh, indeed, it really is. I'm actually, there's one of the reaction video channels I watch is reacting to Daredevil, and I'm like, I need to watch. I haven't watched
wanna
that.
watch it.
I haven't watched that probably since season 3 came out.
Oh, really?
So it's been a long time.
I need to finish Jessica Jones. I never watched season 3.
Did they make a season 3?
Yes.
I did kind of lose track there.
I
toward
stopped
the
because
end.
like they announced that Netflix was
was
canceling,
done. Yeah.
and Jessica Jones came out before.
Oh, that's
they
true. Yeah, like right, but no, it came out just after they announced it, and then Jessica Jones
Yeah,
came out
and
like,
it's like,
a
what's
month
the
later.
point?
Yeah.
It's gonna leave me wanting more, and there is gonna be no more. But now,
Yeah.
Now-
That Doctor Who fella in season 1 though.
Tennant,
was- yeah.
David Tennant,
He was pretty great.
Kilgore, is the character's
Kilgrave.
name.
Kilgrave, yeah.
Kilgrave.
Yeah, he was great. He did a wonderful job. What a great character.
He
that
was
is.
no, he was not a good character. He was actually quite.
Disgusting.
He wasn't disgusting.
He was yes, he was disgusting,
I mean, he was sinister and all.
dude. Mind controlling people to do things that you want.
Like the guy when he has him sell his house to him for like almost nothing.
Yeah, well, I'm more thinking about like what he did to the women.
Hey, if you had that power, you do the same thing for a
I
house.
would not. How dare you?
Hey, you're gonna sell me your house for $100.
No, I would not.
You wouldn't,
No.
really.
No, no. I couldn't live with the guilt, Tad. I mean, I do stuff, and I can't live with the guilt for 5 minutes.
Let's see. Lydia says there was a picture that Kristen Ritter, Jessica Jones posted with Mike Calder, which is Luke Cage recently. Yeah, and I do believe haven't they said that Kristen Ritter's coming into the MCU?
I think
feel like they've announced
said,
that.
They said that Murdoch and Jones were for sure coming.
Yeah.
They haven't said anything about Cage,
Anyone
and
else? Yeah.
Iron Fist, or Punisher.
Yeah.
Those are the 3 that haven't been announced. Which, of course, why would you do 2 and not all 5?
Because of I think Daredevil is legitimately because of the fan reaction to that series is the
Yeah.
only reason they're bringing it in. I think Feige probably had intentions.
Well, then
to
why
just,
would you bring Ritter? Why would you not just bring Daredevil?
because she Teen Titans, do they have like an older person that kind of oversees them, helps them, guides them a little bit? Not all the time, but like does Batman pop in and
it depends on the iteration, but Teen Titans is run by the Justice League in some iterations.
okay, because
So it's like they're sponsored. Like Robin is sponsored by Batman. Superboy is sponsored by
Okay.
Superman.
So Young Avengers, Jessica Jones ends up being kind of a
Mama Bear.
like a
Dead Mother.
I wouldn't. Yeah. It's not like
the sorority mom.
Yeah, not like a leader like Professor Xavier, but like she's there to kind of mentor is the perfect word.
That's
Yeah,
the word.
she's more of a she's kind of a mentor to them. So I kind of wonder if they're bringing her in because of that. So I don't know if they're going to bring everyone in.
Well, the thing is that we know that Jessica Jones and Luke Cage get married and have kids in the comics. I don't know if they're going to do that with this one. Also, Renee Russo is pretty big, but not Renee Russo. Rosario Dawson. That's the name.
Yeah,
Rosario Dawson is pretty big in all of those series. She cross-pollinates to all of them. Are we ever going to see her?
No.
No?
I mean, there's been some gnashing of teeth online that the Karen actor has not been given any role, apparently, in the new Daredevil. And I don't even know if Foggy has either.
No.
It does. It sounds like Kingpin and Daredevil for sure.
Oh,
but
yeah, Kingpin.
All the other secondary characters from Daredevil, they're not even sure if any of them are going to be carried over or not.
That's
so
a bummer. I love Foggy. Who doesn't love Foggy?
yeah,
Right?
Yeah, he's great. I mean, Kingpin. That's
Kingpin's,
one. That's
we haven't even talked about him.
that's a character to love for sure.
No. Bad guy. We don't love bad guys. Bad guys are bad guys.
Kingpin's awesome. Can't wait for Echo. That'll be a fun.
I thought that got canceled.
I don't know.
I thought you said that it got canceled.
Yeah, I don't know. There's been a lot of rumors about
Oh, no.
cancellations
Echo,
and.
No, it's not Echo. Ghost is who I'm thinking of. Ghost.
Oh
from
yeah.
Ant-Man 2
Ghost is not going to be.
He's not going to be in Thunderbolts, even though that's like one of the original ones that were like, oh, they're building Thunderbolts. Look, Ghost is already here, and now Ghost is gone.
Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of strange, but
Yeah, Vincent D'Onofrio is top notch in anything. Absolutely, Eden. You're right about that.
yeah, he is wonderful and a perfect Kingpin too.
Oh, he's great. I want to see him in Spider-Man.
Yeah, me too.
Those two are the.
Me too. See him choke slam Tom Holland like Thanos did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just body slam him through a floor like in the Spider-Man game.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Pick up a statue and throw it at him.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I'm down.
But yeah, no, I think that that's I don't know if you got anything else. I think we might be wrapping on the look ahead here. There's a lot that's going to be coming. Of course, we still have to talk about TV at some point for sure.
We will absolutely have to talk about not only TV for upcoming Phase 5 because there's a lot, but also Phase 4 TV because there was a lot.
There was a lot. Yeah.
8 and 7.
I think maybe we should do that because I don't think we have to stay topical. So maybe even next episode, rank the Phase 4 shows.
Just real quick.
Yeah, just a quick rank them 1 through whatever. Did you say
8?
7 or 8? Yeah.
Phase 4 had 8.
Yeah, go through there, do that. That should be fun.
That's rough because I've only watched them one time.
Yeah, me too. So
man.
That'll be a challenge to.
Should I make note of that?
Make note of that to rank them when we haven't necessarily seen a ton. Let's see. Do we got? Where are we at in terms of time?
We got about 10 minutes, which is a perfect time to introduce our new segment, folks. This is something I had an idea
I actually
about.
don't have a slide for this.
We don't have a slide for it. This is brand new. I'm dropping this on Tad like day of kind of thing.
Oh, so not what I think it is.
No, it is.
Okay.
But we talked about it and everything like that. This is going to be a little thing going along the lines with Tad's shirt there. It's going to be called Closing Arguments. Here's how closing arguments work. One of us will be giving the other a subject. Now, it might be me giving Tad something or me trying to convince Tad of something. Basically, what it comes down to is that there are argument shows out there up the wazoo. Is this better than this? Is that better than this? And everything like that. That's been done.
Yes, it is better.
Hey, quiet. But we're going to try something a little different here on Geekery Abides. We're going to try closing arguments, which is one person gets to talk, and they're trying to convince the other person of what they're trying to convince them.
Yeah, not crosstalk. It's just
not
it's literally
cross-examination. This is closing arguments. This is at the end of the trial where you get to stand up and recap.
Not really
what you
stand
think.
up, but yes.
But basically. But basically what it's going to come down to is I'm going to give you an example. Here's today's thing. I'm going to be giving Tad a topic. And I know Tad has an opinion on this topic because we've talked about it before. He has not heard what this topic is. He has no prep time whatsoever.
No, not at all.
So he is going to have a few minutes here. Like I said, we got about 10 minutes till the show wraps up here. So you got a little bit of time, Tad. I'll cut you off when it's time and everything like that. Or if you finish.
And then you'll make a judgment.
And then I will make a judgment. I actually have sound bites.
Yeah, we got
We
got sound bites. We got 2 positives and 1 negative.
I got to remember which one's the negative one. That's the negative one. Okay. Because I know that's where we're going to go. It's the negative. I mean, I haven't made a decision.
Biased judge.
No, but here we go. Okay.
I mean, you telling me those pictures aren't clear and obvious, sir?
Well, I mean, one of them is mine's a little bit. Okay.
So one's the blue-haired lawyer.
Yeah.
Where it's all Simpsons.
Yeah.
The other one is Lionel Hutz making a good argument. The other one's Lionel Hutz with no pants on.
Which I'm assuming is the bad one. The other two I
Mr.
can
Hudson,
say are the
are you
goodies.
aware
Okay.
you're not wearing any pants?
All right. You ready for this, Tad?
Oh, go on.
You got a few minutes to convince me that Anakin Skywalker's fall to the dark side was avoidable, and how.
Wait, it was avoidable?
It was avoidable. Convince me that Anakin Skywalker could have stayed light his entire life.
Oh, I mean, that's easy. Do you not believe this? I mean,
No, sir. You don't get to ask questions here. This is closing arguments. You need to convince me.
The whole build of the prequel trilogy. I mean, the title alone. Not the Phantom Menace. The title of the Duel of the Fates.
Mm-hmm.
The fate it held in regard of that duel is Anakin's fate, because if Qui-Gon Jinn survives and is able to mentor and eventually be the master of Anakin, which is sad saying from a former slave. Have you seen that meme where it's like Anakin, you're no longer a slave. Oh, thanks, Qui-Gon. No, call me master. It's one of my but Duel of the Fates. It's a Duel of the Fates because ultimately Anakin's fate is on the line. If Qui-Gon lives and survives, we all see that Qui-Gon flies in the face of the Council. We all understand as the prequel trilogy unfolds that the Council is wrong. The Council has fallen into dogma. They're no longer embracing the Force, the living Force, as much as they are getting into just dogmatic bullshit. They're also getting to the realm where they're getting involved in politics. They're getting pulled into being generals in the war, which is not something they should be doing. All of those things, it's because the Council is completely they've fallen away ultimately, and Yoda sees it towards the end, admits it, trains Luke. You never see him talk about the ways of the Council with Luke because he's understood his failure, so he teaches Luke just the living Force stuff. That's a shit that Qui-Gon was all about. That's why he flew in the face of the Council, constantly telling them they were wrong. He talks about, being in tune with the living Force, feel, don't think. Think about the stuff he says to Obi-Wan. It's Obi-Wan, and it's always interesting too because Obi-Wan's very by the book a lot of the ways. So Qui-Gon's a strange master for him because he's always kind of telling him the opposite of what maybe the Council would. Sure. That maybe whatever it worked out. Obi-Wan's just going to stay by the book. But if Anakin had that leadership, I just don't think that Palpatine would never be able to get his claws into him. Because ultimately Palpatine grooms him, right? Mm-hmm. From the youngest age. I mean, right into episode 2, we get Anakin in his early 20s. At that point, you get this idea that Palpatine's one of his oldest friends, So Palpatine had his hooks in him all the way. Everywhere that Obi-Wan did the wrong thing, Qui-Gon would have done the right thing. I don't think Qui-Gon would have stopped Anakin from going to see his mother. He wouldn't have tried to just tell him to suppress his feelings and dreams for his mother. I don't even think that he would have disallowed the love and eventual marriage to Padme. I think that Qui-Gon would have seen that who the fuck cares? I think that. So ultimately, if he survives, I don't think Anakin falls at all. I think it's a whole different story. It's all about the fact of the Jedi Council and Obi-Wan being basically the avatar of the Jedi Council. I mean, he's by the book 100%. That's why he ends up on the council and shit. He is exactly what they want. But I see it like the corruption of religion, right? And you see the story of the biblical stories of Jesus. He's constantly yelling at and getting after the religious leaders.
Goes into the temple, flips the table.
Because they had corrupted in his mind the teachings of his father and all that. That's the story there. And I think the same idea happened. And Qui-Gon is kind of the Jesus-ish figure. And the problem is then when you lose him, now Anakin is at the mercy of, I wouldn't say a fallen Jedi Order, but a very not corrupted, a very a Jedi Order that's no longer at the roots of what the Jedi should be. Okay. And that's never going to work for someone like him. And they broke their rules. If he would have just been an infant as well, if it would have been the right way, there was risk in bringing him in, but I don't think the risk was as heavy if Qui-Gon had been there, because I think he would have always helped Anakin the right way versus Obi-Wan that was always just no, you can't do this. No, you can't do this. It's against the rules. No. So yeah, that's my belief.
Okay.
Is it 100%? That's why it's called the Duel of the Fates. Anakin's fate is on the line. Once Qui-Gon dies, that's the end of Anakin. There's no way he's gonna avoid it at that point, because now he's that square peg in the world of round holes. He's never going to fit his even his attachment to his clones in the Clone Wars and stuff. So many of the other Jedi don't really have that, or if they do, it's way more minimal. Anakin goes so far out of his way to protect, he's almost too much of an idealist.
Sure.
And the dogmatic ways of the Jedi were never going to work. He would have needed Qui-Gon to be that buffer that would have protected him against all that stuff and would have nurtured him.
Okay.
So that's my got my.
Right.
I am no big city lawyer.
Okay.
But yes, that is my closing argument.
You rest?
Yes,
You
rest
rest?
my case.
You rest your case? All right. And the verdict, I believe.
Never lost a case. Because you're so fucking good.
That is a positive one. I can't
That
believe it.
is the positive one. I wholeheartedly agree with you. You actually took a different route than I thought you would. Honestly, when I thought of this question, I thought of it from episode 2 on. I didn't even think about Phantom Menace and Qui-Gon Jinn. I thought about episode 2 on.
Okay.
We've had conversations about the Jedi Council and how they're corrupt. Mace Windu just goes to execute the Chancellor after defeating him. I mean, yes, he defeats him in his self-defense at that point, but at that point, he's defenseless. Anakin's 100% right.
Yeah.
No, he needs to stand trial.
Yeah.
He controls the courts and the stuff. You can't, doesn't mean you just off the dude.
Yeah.
So I thought that's where your argument was going to be, but pointing out that Qui-Gon is the
He's
duel
the
of
key.
fates, that's the key and everything like that. Sir, you are 100% right. I can't believe I didn't even think about that. And this is why closing arguments is going to be a great segment for us. It's going to be able to, I believed it, but that doesn't mean that everyone out there does.
Yeah.
We don't have to do something that I disbelieve and you believe.
Yeah.
We can do something like this over and over again.
Yeah, for sure.
There's our first closing argument segment, and it's
And we won't-
Tad's 1-0. So we'll keep track of the record.
We should
keep track of the records.
notes.
1-0.
Keep track here. I'm a really good lawyer, right? Is that the line from Daredevil there?
I'm a very good lawyer.
Or not Daredevil, from Spider-Man. But yeah, no, that'll be it for this episode, though. So next time, before I hit our outro stuff, or actually, no, I'll hit the outro in terms of the email stuff. So if you want to email us, you can email either me, I'm Tad, which is Tadd, at geekeryabides.com, or Peter, as it is spelled in the English-speaking
Got a
world.
slide for that?
I don't.
Okay.
I have one at the beginning. I need to put one at the end.
Got it.
And then Peter at geekeryabides.com. If you want to email either of us directly, you can do that. We don't really have a shared one, so if you got something that really is just for either of us, just pick one of us and send it. And then you can find us on social media at Geekery Abides pretty much everywhere. We're not on Instagram yet, but find us on YouTube. And then, of course, subscribe, and ring the bell on YouTube if you want to keep up with us live. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, all the fun places. And then send us emails, and we will be back next time. This is the slide I do have. For next time on Geekery Abides, we will be talking one day after it happens. So there will be potentially spoilers very early, but Scream 6 comes out technically the day before, but we will have seen it 2 days before our episode. Scream 6 comes out, so we're going to react to Scream 6 as well as talk about the Scream franchise. We do feel that with Ant-Man and these are also kind of good introductory episodes because it kind of shows you what we're going to look like as new things come out. And the big thing to show off here is horror movies are not for 1 month out of the year. That is nonsense. Spooky season is 365 days a year.
24/7, 365.
So we will also kind of talk about the Scream franchise as well.
Yes.
As it culminates here in 6, which I don't know if that'll be the last one. But yeah, that'll be the next episode. And then, we on that episode, we'll let you know what we have in the future.
Yes.
Got a lot of fun stuff coming. So,
absolutely.
But we will, I don't know, we still don't really have a sign-off.
Thank you, everyone, for coming and listening to us be nerds and geekeries.
I guess what I will always say is let your geek flags fly high, because there is nothing wrong with being a geek, nothing wrong with being a nerd, reading comic books, watching Star Wars. I mean, those things are mostly not looked down on nowadays, but no matter what it is, can't say that we always agree. I'm not into everything, but if you're into it, fucking love it and be all about it, man. Don't be ashamed of it. Wear t-shirts, get tattoos.
Let the geekery abides.
Yes, because the geekery does always abide.
Indeed.
All right, see you guys.
Bye, everyone.